The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Feel Good Friday, September 17th, 2021 years after zero. And today's show should be pretty good. Yeah. Woo! Shout to Twine for the beat drop. Shout to you for listening on SiriusXM and watching at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Immediately off the jump, I have to tell you that there is another Foxy flick coming out today at 3:15 Eastern Daylight Time. There will be giveaways at the end of that thing.
Whoa.
Maybe some tickets.
What?
What?
Yeah, at the games.
Really?
Football games?
Yeah, I think like 5 of them or 7 of them.
Holy
Five
shit.
sets of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So 10 of them.
Yeah, 3:15. It's last 2 weeks, basically week 1 of the NFL season. Foxy followed me around, obviously, as he always does. Shout out to Roman. And I think we got a pretty cool little run here. You know, I think we got a pretty cool little run. It's a great flick. I appreciate you for creating it. That'll debut today at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Now let's get into it. Last night, exciting football game in Maryland.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've played there, and I guess I should have known this, but it felt like they were making more of an emphasis on it being in Maryland last night, as opposed to like it always is in the nation's capital, like that entire thing. And in Maryland anyways. The Taylor Heineke-led Washington football team played host to Danny Dashes Dimes Jones and the New York Giants coming into town in a Thursday night football affair. Back on Fox, shout out to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman calling Thursday night football. And it was an exciting, exhilarating game. There was a lot going on. There was a lot happening. The overhit. How you doing? Keep it moving.
Let's go.
Danny Dimes rushed for over 20 and a half yards in one single run and got his shit called back on a bullshit call. Lost like 15 yards and another tutter. How you doing? Keep it moving.
Yes.
Ultimately, though, that team would lose to the Washington football team on a couple, little bonehead situations that are happening. It's week 2 football. Understandable things are going to happen, but Joe Judge being a special teams coordinator, special teams coach, having his guy jump offside on a game-winning field goal that was inevitably missed by Dustin Hopkins of the Washington football team, getting a mulligan and an extra point basic length. I mean, that is a tough way to go out if you're the New York Giants, but they lost to a team with a quarterback that forgot that he had 2 legs and could run.
Come on.
Taylor Heineke turned into Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and he was picking apart that Giants defense. I was actually thoroughly impressed with the way that Taylor Heineke handled himself. His confidence, his poise, his throw, everything he was doing seemed to be good, except for the fact he forgot how to run, so he didn't get the over on Heineke.
Come on.
And there was a lot of weapons. Terry McLaurin was making a lot of fucking plays. That guy's a hell of a ball player, okay? I am thoroughly impressed with not just him as a football player, but him as a human. And then there was the Humphreys, or
Adam Humphreys.
Humphreys all of a sudden became this, who the hell is this guy? I know he's getting every single target. Heineke forgot that Logan Thomas was even on their team. Stopped throwing the ball. There was a penalty. Could have got us our yards. Could have hit that. Anyways, we lose our parlay. Washington football team wins last night. It was an exhilarating game. Congrats to Dustin Hopkins taking advantage of a mulligan, getting a win. And also, that entire Washington football team seems to have a lot of resilience. Hey, Heineke stepped in there, and I don't think anybody felt any type of pressure at all. Ron Rivera didn't even move much. Every time they shot it, he looked the same exact way on the sideline. It's almost as if he knew it was going to happen. I wonder about his coaching style now at this particular stage of the game. Jack Del Ria's over there. I completely forgot about that. I enjoyed the game. All hell broke loose. We lost our parlay. FanDuel refunded everybody $10, but we got to get back on the right side of things with that, because when we get a chance to rake cake from FanDuel, we have to do so. I have a massive opportunity that I'm able to say, hey, this is what we want to do. And I have a chance to maybe put on for everybody to make money, which is what I literally love doing. I need to get back on the right side of things, because all FanDuel's doing is laughing in my face right now. All these people around the internet, that's stupid, that's a bad thing. It's like, oh, is that right? Is that right? You knew that Heineke was going to forget how to fucking run? You knew that he was going to become just a pocket passer. This is it. And literally, as soon as he got out of the thing, somehow the turf in Maryland would jump up and actually trip him.
Jeez.
There was another guy that tripped all over himself. I think it was Humphreys' first catch, actually, on the sideline. He tripped all over himself. And I saw Heineke tripping all over himself. They got, hey, remember, poop water last time. Hey, I'm not saying anything, Jason, right? Hey, I know you got a lot of other stuff to deal with, but some reason your field is just tripping everybody. Taylor Heineke mostly. Who knew that he was not going to be able to run anywhere and choose not to run anywhere? Who knew that Logan Thomas was going to get thrown around? There was a play they showed in slow motion. Logan Thomas wide open with both hands right at Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke threw it over his head to somebody that was double covered right behind him. What are we doing?
Come on.
What are we doing? So obviously a lot of people dance on my grave even though the money was refunded. I just know we need to take advantage of that. Love that Thursday Night Football was back. Did not really have it. Ty, I think you said this earlier. If this game was week 13, week 14 on Thursday night, it's as much buzz. It's like football's back. I'm happy we were all dialed into that thing. It was a great game at Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, it was. It was very, very exciting. And I haven't watched, every Giants game during the Danny Dimes era, but I mean, last night, that was arguably maybe one or two in terms of the best games he's ever played in his career.
It was actually number one, depending upon which rating you go by. It was his highest from one of them. I don't know if it was QBR, PFF, whatever the grade was. It was his highest last night. He looked like a ball player.
So there you have it. But I'm also worried that this team just isn't going to get it done. Do we know, is Joe Judge that good of a coach? Again, we've been talking about it.
Slippery slope.
It's early, but he's a special teams guy. You can't have that special teams gaff be the reason you guys lose the football game. You just can't. That can't happen. And they've already been talking about the hot seat stuff. Do you think there's a chance that, let's say, the Giants, lose the next 6 games and don't go to the playoffs this year? Is it possible that they get rid of Danny Dimes, fire Joe Judge, fire Dave Gettleman, fire Jason Garrett, and basically just reshape the entire franchise?
Owner is on the record as stating that he is tired of explaining why they stink to people.
Yeah.
Invested a lot of money this offseason to rebuild that team. Has been like, hey, I'm tired of going to these events that A.J. Hawk is at and these other billionaires are at. Hey, Omar, how's it going? What happened to the Jets this year? He said, well, blah, blah, with the team, we did this. That's a shame. And then Jerry Jones walks up, hey, how's it going? Yeah, we stink too, but we're worth 5X what you are. There's those meetings being the reason why old buddy wants to win. I think that is very motivating. And maybe it is that he will have a quicker hook off the stage for them. But Danny Dimes, everybody is, it's a make or break year. This could be another situation. Tannehill, everybody's pointing at the Tannehill situation because he was basically a bust. He was basically out. He was overpaid, didn't really do much down in Miami. Is that because the Dolphins were there? He did play good football down there. Is it because Gase was there? Why is it? He goes to Tennessee, he becomes a guy. Now, is that offense going to bounce back this week against the Seattle Seahawks, against the 12s in Seattle? I mean, I hope so because I enjoy that offense. They got Julio. Hopefully they'll be able to get going. But everybody, is scared to death of the Tannehill situation happening to them.
Right.
Joe Douglas over there at the Jets said, I'm cool with it. Send Darnold out of here. Yeah. We'll see how he does down there. First week, we got to play against him, by the way. He's probably going to do well, whatever the case. And we'll see how this goes with Zach Wilson. He seems to be a player, but I think there's a lot of people that are scared of that. So would they be more apt to get rid of Danny, or would they be more apt to get rid of Joe and Gettleman? I don't know who's tighter with the owner. You'd assume the GM is tighter with the owner, so you think they'd lean that way. But if he goes clean slate, brand new football team, basically, what's that, another 4 or 5 years anyway?
Yeah,
I mean, it is insane to think if your team, and I thought they looked good last night.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And the Washington football team was the team that I picked, I predicted to win the NFC East at the beginning of the season, strictly because of what they did in Tampa at the end of the year, and that was a young team, and they're going to get old. Now, Fitzmagic, enjoying his offseason, enjoying his time with his family.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Very much so.
Allegedly.
Doing everything you want.
Allegedly riding down water slides, whatever the case.
Man, crave speed.
Yeah.
Guy does.
Give him a break.
Okay.
Let's go down a fast one.
Big deal.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, the kids go down a slow ones. Fitzmagic's going down
I'm going down a
Give me high
fast.
speed.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
We have no idea if any of this is true. But anyways, he gets hurt. And Heineke steps up, and Ian Rappaport said it yesterday, and we're a Fitzmagic show or whatever, but nobody really felt as if it was going to be a massive drop-off. And that's disrespect to Fitzmagic, but maybe it's also a compliment to what we saw from Taylor Heineke last year against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs. It's like The Washington football team, and this is kind of what we were talking about with the Broncos yesterday, the Giants, and we're so early in the season, we have no idea who's a good team, who's not a good team.
Yeah.
What the Washington football team is just a very good football team. Now, there was a couple of mistakes that were made, obviously.
A lot of penalties,
There's a
both
lot of
sides.
penalties and everything like that, but what if they end up being a good football team? And what if this Giants team just lost to a couple of very good football teams? Maybe the Chargers, no, the Giants didn't play Chargers first week. They,
Broncos.
Maybe the Broncos were a stud team. Like maybe they're going to be unbelievable. Maybe Teddy B is going to be able to do that, which they were predicted to win the Super Bowl immediately upon the hearing that Aaron Rodgers was going to be their quarterback. Now Aaron helps out immensely, but maybe these teams are better than we think, or maybe it's like this Giants team is just going to do what they did last year, even though they're doing push-ups and running laps and running all this stuff, and they're all bought in, and we need a culture change. What if they just don't win games? And that is going to be very difficult, because last night, Graham Gano went 5 for 5, I think, on field goals, 250 plus. He walked out for that 55-yarder to take the lead, and it was basically as if he took out a pitching wedge. He was drafted, I don't know if he was drafted, same draft class as me. He ended up at Washington. He's always been out of Florida State. He punted and kicked in college.
Damn.
So I got a lot of respect for him. He was awesome. He had a massive leg. Much different human than I think he's a pretty religious guy. Like, I think he, that whole thing. Always had a lot of respect for him. Huge night for him. That 55-yarder looked like it was a pitching wedge. 50-some yard. They have great players in, like, key positions. Saquon. I think he got loose at one time. Even though it was a pet. I mean, there's great. Why can't they win a game? You know, why can't they win games? And that's ultimately the question of the teams that are good, teams that are great. Because just like Bruce Arians said, our team's a bunch of fucking winners. So at the end of the game, we knew they were going to win. Does Washington have that gene now after last night? Because Heineke threw a interception.
Yeah.
And had a game-winning drive and a touchdown, all within the final
4 minutes.
4 minutes of the game. First time ever or something like that. Yeah. Taylor Heineke, this is via at ESPN Stats and Info. Shout out Hembo. What up, dog? Taylor Heineke is the first QB since at least 1978 with a go-ahead pass TD, an interception, and a game-winning drive in the final 5 minutes of regulation, all on 3 separate drives. And by the way, Ron Rivera's face did not change whenever Heineke threw that.
Nope.
At all. Did not. They took a shot at him, and I thought he was maybe going to be saying, hey, this all goes around with the vaccine. I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? All that. Instead, they kind of rode the wave really nicely. Heineke drives him back in there. Then the false start. That was a hell of a game. At Boston Connor, in your eyes, is Washington football team the team of the NFC East, or is there a lot of question marks still revolving around? They weren't able to get off the field last week against the Chargers for like the final 5 minutes. They ended up on a knee or whatever. And then last night, I mean, a mulligan gets them a dub, but still got to win.
Win's a win.
And Chase Young is still Chase Young. He was running right next to Saquon Barkley. Okay.
Wild.
Outside defensive end. Going stride for stride with one of the most explosive humans on earth.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we automatically just say that Chase Young's the most explosive human on earth.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Absolutely.
kind of has scary over there.
to.
That team, you don't buy into the Washington football team hype, or after you watched last night, you're like, we can't be sure about anything yet.
Yeah, I don't think we can be sure about anything. I mean, if the Washington football team's defense is supposed to be like this good, they shouldn't be giving up 29 points to the Giants, unless the Giants are also good. And we
Hey,
still
Jason
just don't know.
Garrett. Hey, looked like they were taking some shots. They got it feels like that offense, every time we see it on TV, like kind of stumbles out of the gates. Like in any of those off, you got to get into a rhythm. Everybody talks about we got to get into a rhythm. It's like, okay, that means first down, you have to gain some yards. Second, everything's like on schedule almost. Matriculating down the field or whatever it is. Like that's like what it looked like they had the offense rhythm going for them. It was almost fun to watch, by the way. Because I think it's the first time we've seen, and I might be wrong, I think that's one of the first times, and maybe the Giants fans have seen more, but obviously outside of there we haven't. I haven't seen that offense really get into a rhythm much.
Yeah.
And I think Jason Garrett was pumped. It seemed like he was very excited. Daniel Jones obviously was feeling it and playing pretty well, but 29 points is a lot of points.
A ton. And everyone's talking about the Washington football team being an unbelievable defense, which, I mean, sure, they still can be. It's still very early, but they gave up 470 last week to Herbert and the Chargers. They gave up 350-plus this week to the Giants. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they will figure it out, and it's a secondary problem or something, but I thought they were going to have 5-plus sacks last night on dimes, and the Giants' O-line played pretty well. They lost Ben Gates, which will probably mess them up going forward. Saquon, someone said this yesterday. yesterday. Saquon usually on that big run he had, the 41-yarder. That's something I feel like in previous times probably scores a touchdown.
Well, he's not all the way back.
Maybe not.
The guy's got in the knee.
And maybe the Giants will never be all the way back because of this. I mean,
were they ever there though? I don't know.
I mean, they won a couple Super Bowls in this decade.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Saquon. I'm sorry.
In the
You're
last
talking about
five.
in the grand scheme.
Last season, let's not forget, they were a quarter away from being a playoff team, if not for Nate Suckfield coming in for the Eagles.
Yeah, and I think 4-12 got into the playoffs in the NFC.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Was that
No, 7-9 football team. but it might as well be 4-12.
Situations are
situational?
Boom.
Yeah, they were very close to being a playoff team.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what the owner would have said to his billionaire. I mean, it's a playoffs.
Yeah.
Damn near.
You mentioned Jerry. I mean, I think the Cowboys are going to figure it out and they'll win the NFC East, even with all the trouble they got going on right now.
There's a couple teams that are in trouble. How many players since five players the Dallas Cowboys have lost since Thursday night's game started?
4 starters, and a lot of people say 5 because Gallup is technically a starter.
And he had a hell of a debut there for the season. So and then there's another team, obviously, as well.
What's that?
That was ravaged with injury going into the season in some key spots. And then here it seems to continue to happen. The Baltimore Ravens. This is a shame, too, because this is a big year for Lamar Jackson, obviously, personally, professionally, everything like that. And they get a playoff win last year in Tennessee, first playoff win of the Lamar Jackson era. Like, here we go. Like, the team was taking the next step. They were bringing in players. I mean, it just felt they were trying to get other wide receivers. They were active. It feels like the Ravens are really going for it. Then, obviously, you get, 3 ACLs or whatever in training camp. And then the first game now, left tackle Ronnie Stanley's out for a little bit. I mean, Jason LaCanfora.
I think Lockenfora.
Canfora sounds cooler.
Oh, Jay LaCanfora.
Hey, I got a can for you.
Hey, you got a can for Canfora?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Got 2 cans for Canfora.
What?
Anyways, Jason LaCanfora. Oh, I don't know. That's an interesting name.
Lockenfora sounds right.
What is that, Italian? Can I get the origin?
Gotta be.
Maybe French? Because the la?
No, they use
Le?
yeah, I believe it's an LE. Anyways, Jason LaCanfora, who has been around the NFL a long time. This guy's really good.
Long time.
Season vet.
We're a big fan of Jason LaCanfora. The Ravens are preparing to be without All-Pro left tackle Ronnie Stanley this week, and possibly far longer as he undergoes more medical testing. Villanueva now will slide back to left tackle, his natural spot, with Patrick McCarry next up to right tackle. O-line was already under fire before this setback. I mean, now they got running backs out, corners out, offensive linemen out. I mean, that is tough for the way they play football. You know, the way they play football, these are positions that are not great. Their defense is a hungry defense. Losing Marcus Peters is huge. An aggressive defense, that is huge, obviously, because they go single, cover zero a lot. We saw that on the Manning cast there, obviously broken down, everything. And then now more offensive line troubles. It's just, I feel bad for the Ravens. I honestly do. From Pittsburgh, had Mike Tomlin on yesterday. It was awesome.
Oh, man, that was cool.
Mike Tomlin, though, did it. He even said, when you go to Baltimore, Ravens fans, they're not cheering for the Ravens. No, they're cheering against you. That is what they're cheering. It's a much different world. So I think there's a lot of respect for the Baltimore Ravens, from a lot of people in Pittsburgh, but definitely around the NFL because they changed the game. They went all in with Lamar Jackson. Yeah. And now this year was supposed to be the next step, and it just feels like you just get unlucky. You get unfortunate, and there's nothing you could do. Those injuries could happen at any practice, at any time with the drills that take place. I mean, there's non-contact injuries that take people. I mean, it is literally misfortune. Now, people will say that there's ways you can train and your athletic training staff and your strength staff can fix that. It's I guess, but I don't know how you train your ACL. If people come out of shape, I assume that definitely hurts it, but let's assume Marcus Peters and Gus Edwards and everybody is not in bad shape. Let's assume they're in good shape. It's just you get unlucky. I saw this with a couple teammates who I thought were going to be hey, that guy would have been a really good player. But then just a couple very unfortunate. Vic Ballard tore his Achilles in a walkthrough in practice. I think maybe the week after he had a game-winning overtime touchdown where he took off from the 7-yard line and dove and spun through the air and scored it. He was just about to get going. Tears his Achilles. I think another injury happened. It's damn, what could have been
Yeah.
almost. And it's almost like there's nothing he could have done about it, but there's nothing the Colts could have done about it either, I think, personally. And then when you see a team just get that unlucky, it's like, why? Why is that happening to him, I wonder? That's a damn shame. I wanted to see that Ravens team go this year. I like them.
Yeah.
A bunch of dogs over there. I mean, they talk shit too. Like, I like that team. It just seems like it's going to be a very uphill battle for them.
Yeah, and contract-wise, maybe if, because they lost all these players and the Ravens end up winning 10 games, it even helps Lamar a little more because it's like, look what I did with nobody. But, I mean, that O-line.
Hey, he could.
Yeah. He could do it on his own.
Oh, he is.
He's ridiculous.
I worried about him getting hurt, though. I saw a lot of people saying
everybody, though.
Yeah.
Well, true, but I mean, like his line's banged up, and not like he's not going to run because he's obviously not average, but it was only 1 week, but you saw how Max Crosby fucking abused Villanueva last week, and now he's moving to Lamar's blind side. Like, again, it's not like he's just a statue standing back there, but you just hope that he's not going to get killed.
To your point, walking into that contract negotiation, though.
Look what I did. Look who was around me. I had nobody. God damn it.
Did you read the headlines? Okay. We lost everybody.
Yeah.
That is something that's like Carson Wentz 2 years ago, though.
Yes.
Like Carson Wentz 2 years ago, same situation in Philly. I mean, there are some people saying that Carson Wentz took some illegal shots this past weekend that were not called.
Really?
Yeah. Bodies landing on top of Carson Wentz as he's getting speared. Like,
Can't do that anymore.
Can't do
Young
that.
got called for yesterday.
Can't do that. What are we even doing here? I don't care about Carson Wentz. Refs don't care. Who was the ref last night? That guy stunk.
Oh, man. That crew.
Lombardi was killing him.
Novak, is that his name? Scott Novak, I think, is what.
Fourth year.
That guy stinks.
Yeah,
hey,
brutal.
pal. No, but you'll probably be a good ref at some point. Get the fuck out of the men's league, dude.
Boy,
there has to be somebody else that can get it. I don't know if we just blame the white cap or whatever for what everybody else is doing or whatever. But it just seems like that crew. I mean, that was bad. And then the review.
Terrible.
That guy was not down. Clearly not down. How they get that wrong? Is this what we're gonna have to deal with here?
You know why.
Is this what we're gonna have to deal with Walt?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? How does that? Just like, and we said this about Mr. Alberto Riveron.
That's right. The
Alberto Riveron and these refs who are old school refs. Okay, they hate the challenge. I think potentially could hate the challenge. I'm not saying all of them, but potentially you could see how they would hate the challenge because the challenge is literally shoving it in the ref's face that they were wrong, right?
Yeah.
And that's how refs could view it. Instead of viewing it as, oh, I only have two eyes that could potentially be 20/20. There's also 8K cameras that can slow things down to 4 frames or whatever every millisecond or whatever the case is. Instead of viewing it as like, oh, actually this is helping us, which some refs could potentially view it as, oh, like thanks, because normally whenever we didn't have that and people saw the replay later, like we weren't able to leave stadiums. Now that we have the technology, it actually helps us out because we can correct things that maybe we weren't as good. But you could see how some refs would think like you're taking kind of our skill. You're questioning our skill. Like that is kind of, and I feel like that's what happened with Alberto Riveron. I feel like he was more apt to leave it on the field because he didn't want to shove it in the ref's face that they got it wrong or something like that. And then maybe this will happen with Walt Anderson, who somehow ended up reffing in the NFL for 75 years. I think he probably had a good 30, 40 years, but when I was in the league, it was not great. Now he's up. Maybe he was. Just every time we played, he stunk. But like maybe he had other great games. Maybe he just got unfortunate or whatever. But I think that could potentially be a part of it. Like I feel like if you embrace the technology, it just makes the game better. What happened to the person that's in the stadium that's supposed to just tell people? They did it this past weekend in one game. There was somebody in the stadium. It was either a ball spot or something happened, and it changed during the commercial break, and there was no review. There was no nothing. It was a very quick change, and I think that might have been the person that was maybe in the stadium. That one where that guy was clearly not touched.
That was bad.
That should not even got reviewed, challenge, or anything like that. That should have been the person in the stadium going, I wasn't touched or good. Just move it forward. It's a first down. Keep it moving. There's no reason for it. But instead, it goes into this whole entire process that I think we have to call into question whenever the people that are in charge are seeing it the exact opposite way of every other fucking human on earth. We can't have it.
Can't have it.
Pereira was pissed about it, too. He was
Yeah.
like, they just showed the replay as they were calling it back for third down, and clearly it was a first down because I think it was McKissick was the one who tripped, and then he just kind of popped forward a little bit on the ground for a first, and then for some reason, 3rd and 1. All right, here we go.
We have to get to a break. And what is this?
Ooh. Do the wag wag. Oh.
Okay. All right. I accidentally hit that one. That one is in that list, so we have to change that list out.
Keep that one in there, though.
Yeah, we can't have that one, but just come on.
Yeah.
You know?
Figure it out.
Shouldn't be that hard.
Make the game better.
Because all that does, by the way, is it continues the fodder that replays are bad for the game, and reviewing and challenging slows down the game, and it's never right. It's like the execution is the problem, not the idea. The concept, the idea is a good one. It makes the game better, especially with people betting on games and lives being in jeopardy, whatever you're talking about, like coaches' lives and players' careers. And there's a lot on the line. That one particular blink at the wrong time, okay, because you're a human, could potentially fuck over. And if we have the ability to fix it, we should.
Yeah.
We just have to do the execution in a better fashion. XFL laid it out how you do it.
Easy.
This is how you do it. And it was on the field. It was quick. All the ref on the field had to do was like this, like they were a performer that was probably lip syncing who wanted to make it look as if they were actually singing. That's all you got to do. And then it's like a 10-second, 15-second process. If you get one of these younger people in there who's probably a little bit more apt at seeing things like this and doing things like this, and then boom, we change it and we're off and running.
Simple as that.
If it's a judgment call, understand, got to do what you got to do there. But with a lot of this shit, it's just like, come on, dude.
So easy.
We all see it the same way except for you. How is that happening? It's
Good
bullshit.
question. It's a good question, Pat.
I'm fed up with it. We're back in 4 minutes with a guy who's fed up with everything.
Yes. Let's go.
I mean, last week, can't have that happening.
No.
Hot start.
But you know, he knows. He knows what the standard is now. You can't cross that line.
Can't do it.
No.
You can't offend people who potentially think other people are going to be offended. But that's what this guy does. And I don't know if this is going to be, maybe it doesn't make it the full season.
We'll see.
We will see.
Hopefully.
But I'm excited for a second conversation.
Yeah, hell yeah.
With Coach JB.
Yes.
Okay, we got to take a break. We're back on the other side with him. We also have Peter Schrager today, and Johnny Hecker and Matt Gay of the Los Angeles Ram kicker and punter combo, punter-kicker combo. Can't wait to chat with them. And then I'm off on a plane to Knoxville, Tennessee after probably a very insightful conversation with AJ Hawk for a couple hours.
All right.
Let's have a feel-good Friday. Can't wait to chat with you. 1-833-4-McAfee on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. We'll talk to you, talk to JB. Let's have a goddamn good day. We'll see you on the other side. I gotta hop on a plane and fly to New Jersey.
Big time, no man now. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of slime, smoky in the air, it's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time.
Thank you all so much. Without you, none of this is possible. From all of us! That was a little lame reaction. We appreciate the fun. We have no idea how to do the subway system, but Zeke is doing the direction, the directing, the mapping, the planning. Well, my tell is in 10 minutes. That train should be ready. He knew his shit. He said it's going that way. This is Zito guided tour. We're not going to get a spot on the train. We should get on an Uber. This was a bad idea. This was a bad decision. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I mean, it's going to be interesting.
Are we on the right way to Yankee Stadium right now? To the Bronx.
I don't like that hesitancy.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
New York it's a bit much. There's shit everywhere. It smells like shit. There's a lot of people, but it's a hell of an industry out here, you know.
so much. Hey, let's go now, Yanks.
What are we saying not to knock it?
Yeah. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated. We the one. Out of the darkness I rose up. Gold in my soul, it's a gold rush. Yeah. Honor and freedom, my toast up. Kicking game on the snare drum. Hard on the beat, let it bleed out like sacrifices. Cut it open, emotions. Spilling like oil and coasting. Therapy for my mental, I'm pinning a pistol and shoot down the criticisms. Individually, I heard the voices that told us. Throw dirt on my name and wish me the worst and stole us. Shot through the heart and pray on my downfall. But Yahtzee prevail on my downfall. Stay on top of the salami time. On my chest like Olympic gold. Rapids move on the field like a jazz song. Witness greatness, look up in LeBron home. Remember next time for you doubt us. That only made me go.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Welcome back to that show. It is Feel Good Friday, September 17th, 2021. And even if you're a Giants fan, you have to admit it's great to have the NFL football back.
Hell yeah!
But don't go thinking you're in mid-season form as a fan just yet, because we're not.
Nope.
You've got to stay on top of your recovery routine to be fully prepared for all of week 2. And one of the best things you can do to stay at the top of your game is simple. Drink plenty of water.
Okay. That's right.
Yeah, drink a lot of water.
A lot of water.
Stay hydrated.
Hell yeah.
You know, I was doing a lot of research when I was in my COVID cave, and basically all of it revolved around like, hey, keep your fucking ass hydrated. It's kind of what they said. Here's a great way to keep your body at, maximum performance. You got to drink a lot of water, but don't settle for just any boring ass water.
No.
Kick that shit up a notch with the new CBD drink mix from CBDMD.
Okay.
CBD drink mix combines CBD and vitamin C into one convenient and easy to use product. Just pour, shake, and go. It's probably good for you on Thursday mornings, Friday mornings, Saturday mornings, and Sunday mornings.
Well, why'd you say that?
And Monday mornings.
Why do you say that?
Well, because you enjoy, some would say at this age, too much slapdick whiskey.
Yeah, what can I say? A booze cocktail or two never hurt anybody.
Yeah, or 2, or
3,
4,
4, 5, 6.
Probably great for the mornings after Ty has a little bit of a run with himself. Drink mix is available in 4 amazing flavors: peach, lemonade, kiwi, strawberry, and fruit punch, which means enjoying the benefits of CBD has never been tastier. And to make it even easier to drink mix, try drink mix and everything else CBDMD has to offer, they're giving you 25% off your next order when you use promo code McAfee at checkout. Once again, at CBDMD.com, promo code MCAFEE, 25% off your purchase of superior CBD products from CBDMD. Hey, that drink mix, it'll get you going, feeling light, get you floating out there, but won't get you hot. Just make you feel better. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man that smokes thick, deep cigars, starting as soon as he wakes up.
Yep.
We'll have a glass of whiskey, maybe some coffee, and seems to potentially not love everything that's going on in the world right now. Joining us after his incredible Netflix fame from Last Chance U, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Jason Brown.
Yeah! What up? Can you hear me, Pat?
Yeah, you sound amazing. How you doing? How's the cigar? How's the morning over there?
Great. It's great. Look at this, man. Just because you speak on shit, I want you to see that.
Woo!
Wow.
Hey, there is Coach J. I assume you hand this out to all your players. Coach JB's football hydration chart. Championship hydration levels. Okay, this is when you're peeing. You got to judge the color of your pee. Selfish slapdick once it gets a little bit darker, you're pissed. And then all the way down, absolute disregard for your teammates, and you're going to walk the plank, and then you are just a fuckstick. Okay, I appreciate you doing it.
Your fucking kidneys have failed at that shit brown color down there.
We appreciate you for joining. It's a real thing, man. Water makes you better, and that's something you can actually almost, I don't want to say see how you're doing with it, but literally every time you piss, allegedly, you can see exactly how you're doing with it. Those charts are everywhere. They've never been described that way, though, Coach JB, I will say.
You're probably right. I need to get a publicist probably in my life that just manages my daily routine here.
I would like to let you know I am fining you 10 public push-ups for what happened last week. I think that is warranted. You offended people who potentially could be offended for somebody else last week, you know?
No doubt. Hey, I hear you. I apologize, man. You know, that's not my intention. I just want to make sure everybody's clear. I didn't say it. I said who said it. I just want to make sure we're clear. I said people call people that. Yeah. I just didn't say it.
Well, I think what happens is when you say that, okay, there might be some fuckstick white out there who says, oh, JB said this, and I would like to let everybody know that I think we've learned here relatively quickly, if you're very new, okay, this is an anomaly, this guy right here. Yeah. This is a unicorn, all right? This is JB, and I want to let you know, I heard from a lot of people after that show that have been around you, and they're like, hey, exactly what you said, basically. Ain't nobody gonna say shit about JB. And I just want to let you know, we do appreciate you joining us. And I like the fact, by the way, that this show is a platform for a fucking guy from Compton is on this show, okay? We got people from South Florida on this show. We got obviously idiots from Boston and Pittsburgh and Iowa and Canada. I like that this is an open forum and a platform. But listen, 10 public push-ups can't fucking make it a trend. You hear me?
No doubt. I got you.
All right, let's get into some stuff here. USC. Last week when you were on, you said, how is this guy fucking stink here in USC? The 4 best quarterbacks in college football literally live in my backyard right here. Lo and behold, a couple days later, the guy's fired. Urban Meyer's going there. What are your thoughts, JB? How do they turn this thing around in LA?
Hey, I listened to your Pagano's interview, man, and it's funny, man. You know, I talked to his brother when I was at Indy. His brother was trying to refer a guy to me as an O-line coach. So we talked for a while Pagano was going through cancer. Chuck was. So
yeah, that's nice.
Good dude, good family. But we, you know, man, it's funny when I heard him talking about Urban Meyer's eyes down, I was just laughing because that's exactly what that means. Like Pagano knows Urban will fucking leave in a heartbeat and go to SC. Once he goes 1-15 or now 1-16, right? Your percentage just went down the shitter because you added a game. But anyway, 1-16 or whatever, you know, he's gonna be like, fuck, I'm the fuck out of here to LA. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. To me, that's the only guy that's not from California or from LA who can come and probably turn it because of his swag, his just, you know, he gets
aura.
The it factor, he has it. And I think Urban's the only guy outside of a Cali guy or especially an LA guy that can actually do it.
All right, now, are you saying that because you are an LA guy, or why are you saying that for the SC job? Why does it have to be an LA guy, you think?
Well, this is the thing. I posted this thing on social media, and all these people are like, well, last time I checked, Nick Saban can recruit LA. He has their quarterback. And I'm like, listen, you dumb fuck. You guys don't fucking listen. I said, you guys take one word out of a paragraph and then you attach it to a person's name. Out of a 1,000 words in a paragraph, they take one fucking word and spin it, right? That's how they do, right? Yeah. Well, what I said was if USC or UCLA don't have a California LA coach, it's a lot easier for a Bryce Young, DJ to leave a California school and go to a Midwest South school with another coach because there's no California swag here holding him here. So like that was my point to it. I'm like, dude, you don't have to be, you can recruit 1 or 2 guys. That's not an issue from LA. But just so we're clear, if Dabo or Nick or any of those guys came to USC, it doesn't mean they're going to come here and dominate recruiting either. Like they might get 1 or 2 guys from another state also, but they're not going to do. You can grab 1 or 2 California kids from out of state, especially if SC UCLA don't have a California coach. And let me ask you this: you think Bryce and DJ and all them guys were going to those schools if Pete Carroll was still here?
I would assume Will Ferrell would have showed up at a practice or something for Bryce.
So was Snoop Dogg and Debo and fucking every single other motherfucker from Hollywood.
Who do you think should get it? Who do you think is going to get it? And is there any whispers in your coaching? By the way, the people that did text me after JB came on last week was it an incredible crew of humans. I was like, how the fuck do you know JB? We coached, or we got a guy, blah, blah, blah. It was like, God damn, I did not know JB's Rolodex is this hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a hilarious group of people texting me, but who do you think it is in the coaching circles? Who do people think is going to end up going over there? I heard James Franklin, maybe.
Man, I'm good with James, too. Good dude, man. I shared a text with you yesterday. He was a funny guy. But I'm going to tell you, he can't come to California. And I love James, man. He might give me shit at the next convention. But you can't go to California and just think you're going to dominate recruiting if you don't have any, thumbprint on the landscape. You got to have some you got to carry some weight. And what I mean is, an LA guy, even Pete Carroll's a Northern California guy, Stockton or whatever, went to Pacific. He's a Cali guy, and he understands the landscape and the kid. And, if you're from Cali, you know somebody from Cali, meaning your players you're recruiting, their daddy, their uncle, their grandpa, they knew you. Somebody may have known you. You have a better shot at this. You coming from Pennsylvania or your roots coming from somewhere else. Like Dabo Sweeney comes out here and tries to go to Compton to recruit these kids. And he sounds like a fucking country bumpkin, right? The mom's going to look at him like, get the fuck out of my house. Like, you don't understand. Like, it's a difference. It's like California guys going to recruit Mississippi. It's not very well received. I'm just telling you, and received. And you got to have that, People always say, well, you went to Kansas and recruited your ass off. I said, yeah, but I'm a different cat. I can go anywhere, in my opinion. I'm not average. It's easy to be average. I'm just being honest. Hey, they say it ain't bragging if it's true, man.
Yeah, well, I think just listening to, and the people that texted me after last week's, hilarious. I mean, absolutely hilarious crew. And I'm happy to hear that everybody that you've basically ever worked with does still fuck with you, it seems like, and that's like, I told this to, I think I said to Tyrod Taylor, I said, everybody that I've ever heard that has been a teammate of yours loves you. Like, for me, that says a lot. And it feels like everybody that's ever really done work with you loves you. So I got nothing but respect. I know Ty has some questions here, though. Go ahead, Ty.
Coach JB, when you look at the college football landscape here in the USC news, like, are there any other big-time programs that you look at? Like Nebraska, for example. I mean, they beat Fordham and they beat Buffalo, but they lose to Illinois. They have Oklahoma this weekend. Good chance they get smacked. Do you see any of these like big-time Power 5 schools maybe more likely to shit can their coach knowing that it's possible Urban might be available next year?
Yeah, I mean, once Clay got fired, man, in my opinion, this is why Clay got fired, in my opinion. UCLA beat LSU. Hurt USC tremendously, in my opinion. Oregon beats Ohio State, kills USC, in my opinion, as far as we got to make a splash higher because Oregon's whipping our ass in our own backyard with kids. And now you got these other schools. It makes it easy to fire Scott Frost, in my opinion, here, too, even though he's an alum, he's a legend there and all that stuff. And I got good friends on that staff there. But, like, you lost to Bielema, who's getting his ass drugged every week since. So you got to understand, Illinois. So I got 3 kids that play for Maryland who start from Indy, and they're going to drag Illinois tonight. They're going to fucking drag Illinois, watch. And now Illinois is going to be, 1-3 after beating a Nebraska team that's just shitty?
Hey, what's the spread on that game tonight? Do you know?
On Maryland, Illinois?
Yeah. We'll look it up.
I don't know the spread.
Hold on, we'll look it up. We're going to ask you if you think they'll cover or whatever. You think they're going to drag Illinois. They beat West Virginia up. Hey, Leah Tongavaloa is a hell of a player as well. Who are your guys over there?
I got 2 Polynesians there, actually. They're like, fuck, they're from the island, man, from Hawaii. And they're like, fuck, coach, we don't even get to go. We don't even go. It's like going to Mars for us to go back home. So we'll just go home around Christmas time. Fuck it. So they're becoming East Coast fucking natives, man.
Hey, that's the best way to be. Hey, that's the best way to be over there. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. And then Jahari Branch is the center guard, plays for him. So they're doing well out there. And they played they've been 2-year starters there, man. So, plus, we got kids everywhere, obviously. But, I don't know, man. Nebraska-Oklahoma game is intriguing because it used to be intriguing, right? Mm-hmm. So anyone give a fuck anymore? No. I got an upset pick of the week for you, though, Pat.
Okay. Ooh. We like this. All right, what do we got?
Right there in your backyard. Indiana beats Cincy.
Whoa.
Wow.
You know, and to be honest, this is how I'm a different cat because, see, Indiana should not be an upset beating fucking Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a group of 5 school. Like, people always say, well, you said, JB, the transfer portal evened out everything. I'm like, it's a viewpoint, really, right? It's how you kind of view it. The transfer portal put 2,000 kids in the portal. It's kind of evened out the playing field, as I said, after Alabama, Clemson, and Georgia. I think everybody else from there has a shot at beating each other. As you see, Toledo could have beat fucking Notre Dame. Notre Dame beats an average, shitty, rebuilding Florida State, who ends up turning around and losing to fucking whoever they lost to. Who'd they lose to?
Jacksonville State. And the guy got hey, but there was a romantic moment after the game.
Oh, fuck, man. Like, that's how soft we've become. Like, holy fuck. Like, I don't know, man. I just can't. I just can't. I don't know. I can't fathom it, man. Like, people don't get it. Like, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. People don't get that shit. Yeah. Like, if you fucking tell the truth every day, you don't got to remember anything. People that lie every day to these kids and people, like, everyone that lied to that kid who said that was a great time to fucking propose should be castrated. Like, you're lying to that kid, dude. How about you just tell the truth? You don't got to remember shit. Because every time you lie, you got to lie to cover up for that lie. And the shit just starts getting big. And Pat, the reason why I am my way, it's like, dude, I don't have the energy to keep lying and lying. I'm like, I'd rather tell the truth so I don't got to remember shit and sell slapdick whiskey. Hey, I don't have time to do all the other shit.
Hey, you're going to get caught too, by the way. You know what I mean? No, not you. I'm talking about the people that lie. Oh, no doubt. They're going to get caught on an off day. You know, they're going to get caught on an off day. They're going to get caught on a microphone. They're going to, like, I've always believed that. I've honestly, and it's to my detriment. People, I think even people I've seen, you haven't changed at all, is what people say. And it's like, well, as soon as you start changing, they're going to catch you one day being who you actually are, I think. And then it's going to become devastating for you. It's like, this guy is actually an asshole. I had no idea this guy is the worst human of all time. It's like, well, that's because everything was a fugazi there for a bit, you know, and then you get caught.
Then they apologize. And then it's like, oh, you apologize. Oh, you're such a great person. You're a stand-up dude for apologizing and all this shit. No, motherfucker, that's who he really is. You know what I'm saying? These people don't realize. They're like, oh, he's a great apologetic person. Like, motherfucker, he apologizes every week. Have you noticed? He's a fucking shitbird. I don't know.
Coach, whenever, after I got in trouble my second year for a public intoxication, obviously there's a police report version and my version, you know, and I believe mine's true. So it's all alleged what they said, that whole thing. But when I got back, you know, there was the, hey, you're going to be asked by the media to speak or whatever. And somebody in the building, I'm not going to say who it was, and that person's not in the building anymore, and I don't know if they were directed to do this or not, but as I was eating like my lunch before I was going in there to do this in the locker room, he sat down with me and he wanted to shape my message, you know? And it was going to be, you know, I thought about things and I've decided that I'm going to get, religion was introduced and then there was some other stuff that was introduced. And I literally looked at this person who I think had been around a long time and said, if I say any of this, okay, you know, every human that has ever met me is going to be like, oh, Pat's a sellout piece of shit. You know that, right? And he was like, yeah, but we think this is the best way to kind of paint your back or whatever. I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm just going to go in there and I'm just going to, I'm sorry to my mom, all right? I embarrassed her. I'm sorry to the Colts organization, Bill Polian. Obviously, this is not a good thing. And I just kind of took it, you know, like, hey, I'm just going to have to take, this is going to be something I'm going to have to take. But whenever he sat down with me for that thing, I started thinking about all the situations that has probably happened for other people. And then automatically I started thinking like you, like, oh, this isn't even this person's message. This is this literally, it was like almost handed to me like, hey, here's your speech, by the way. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. What do we even, I can't do, I found Jesus Christ. Imagine what if I say I found Jesus Christ and he saved my life and I did this whole thing. Everybody I would have ever met would have been like, Jesus, Jesus has been asking about you for a long time, man. You've been asking, I'm like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I tell people all the time, I'm like, dude, people don't realize, like, they always ask me about, you know, politics and you know.
People ask you about politics, JB. Nobody asks you about fucking politics.
No doubt. And that's why they ask me. I'm like, dude, politicians and priests are the two most crooked motherfuckers in the world. And I'm like, dude, why would I comment on them motherfuckers? I'm not going in there and and this motherfucker asking me for 37 offerings in 8 minutes. I'm like, what are you doing? He lives in a mansion and I'm fucking struggling out here in the fucking hood. Like, come on, man. Real recognizes real at the end of the day. And people just don't like the truth.
Hey, you got to pay tithes, though. If you want to go, if Jesus is going to continue to come to this house, you got to pay your tithe. You got to pay for this.
Yeah, you got to put your fucking tooth under the pillow too.
Last question, Boston Connor.
Yeah, Coach. Last night, there's a little moment on the sidelines during the football team versus Giants game with Kenny Galladay kind of yelling at someone. Some people said it was Dan Jones. As a coach, whether it be college or pros, would you rather your players, be policing each other, or would you want to go eviscerate someone for playing like shit?
Well, first of all, if I was the quarterback, I would have choke fucked him. So that would have been settled real quick. So he would have got choke fucked on the sideline, Galladay. And motherfucker, don't ever ask me for the ball again, bitch. So that would have been number one. Number two, I was disappointed because I know Daniel Jones' coach, right? A great one, just so we know. Coach Cutcliffe. That motherfucker's Peyton Manning's coach. He's fucking – people don't realize – Daniel Jones, regardless of what fucking Dan Orlovsky says, Daniel Jones is a dude. I'm just telling you right now, Daniel Jones is going to be really fucking good. Mark my words. And all this hate he's getting is unbelievable. He has an archaic OC, right? They're running shit. They're running like 21 personnel, fucking 22 personnel. They have no movement. They don't do anything in the century that we're living in. And he has a broken and damaged Saquon Barkley. Like, Saquon Barkley is average at best now, which is sad, right? Like, to me, Saquon Barkley's done. Like, it's fucked up.
Whoa. No, he could get back. He could get stronger. He'll be back.
I'm just telling you, you know how running backs are in this league, man. They don't live very long. I'm just telling you. That's why they're so easily traded. They're so easily given up. They're so easily shittily paid. Like, they're a dime a dozen. You can get a running back right now off the street, like fucking that can do what he did last night. Yeah. Just think about it. Put it in perspective. Well, my thing is, Daniel Jones is going to be good, man. Once he gets a real deal OC, and they get some fucking life in the offense where he's going to perk up and have some fucking motivation to come to work every day. Right now, he's like, fuck, I'm in 21 personnel. I saw this on NCAA football in fucking 97. and I'm like, and so like, he's like, fuck. And then he's got, Galladay's pretty good. And what's his name? Sherrard? They got Sherrard or
Shepard.
He's not bad, but they don't have no fucking Tampa Bay wideouts. They don't got no Rams wideouts. Like, they're average compared to everybody else. So I don't know. I would have went over there to answer your question because I would have went over there to make sure that we're not one bad apple ruins a whole batch, man. I want to make sure that this shit's not going down the bench here. And now who's against Galladay and who's against Daniel on my bench? So that's kind of why I would probably go over there.
Hey, did you hear the rookie
Tony?
Tony has come out and said that he doesn't know why he's not being used. It's the first or second game. This guy's a rookie in the NFL. He said the source has said, now this is through Zach Rosenblatt at Zach Blatt, that no use in having a sports car and not driving it. This comes after Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown last year said, what are you going to have dogs for if you ain't going to use them or something like that? And Marquise had proven himself a little bit. Tony, I guess he was out a little bit with COVID. I guess he was a little bit injured. Here he is early, not being as much of the offense as I guess he would hope. He's come out and said the same thing. To your point, though, one bad apple ruins the entire batch. That's something you got to change. You can't have that entire team turning against each other. If everybody's bought in on winning, it's not about targets. It's not about anything like that. So, Coach, every time you come on, I laugh, I learn something, and then I fear that somebody's going to be incredibly pissed off with what you said. This time, I think Saquon's going to be able to come back. You do not. Ladies and gentlemen, a founder of Slapdick Podcast, Slapdick Whiskey, Slapdick Cigars, and the author of Hate Me Now, Love Me Later. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Jason Brown, we appreciate you.
Thanks, Coach. Next week.
All right, see you, dude. Hey.
The best.
I got a flood of text messages, both from him and from, I think he sent out text to everybody. Hey, can you let
him know? Yeah, wide range.
Yeah. The text that was showing, I was sitting at SmackDown and I looked down at my phone and like, hey, this is insert name, a very prominent coach. JB's all good, man. So I was like, Well, you better get on. I don't know what you're texting me for. You got to get on Twitter and
tweet that.
You got to tell some people that. But he's an anomaly.
One of a kind.
Very smart.
He does know. It seems like he knows everybody, though. He doesn't know about Saquon. Saquon's going to come back.
I don't know.
Let's not get crazy. Christian McCaffrey came back, so will Saquon, so will we, in hour 2 in 6 minutes. Wow, that was good.
Yeah, great.
Working on golf. Do you still have the same routine that you had whenever you were younger now, or is it much different? And how often do you just go down there and just hit Phil Mickelson flop shots all day? But anytime you turn one sideways and you flatten it, you're like, oh, watch this. I'm going to do like Phil Mickelson does. And then you just go out there. Normally you either blade it, hit it straight up in the air to the right, or you somehow get lucky and it goes and everybody's like, oh my God.
Incredible shot.
Phil Mickelson. Wow. That's what that is kind of become, and I remember you hit the one over your head that one time. That was a mind blower from me. Is the short game something you've always just been good at, or are you good at it because that's all you work like so much on it at all times?
When I was a kid, my dad had a little chipping area in our backyard and putting green, and so I would just go out there and hit balls because I couldn't really go to the golf course, and all I did was shots inside 30 yards. And it got very monotonous to hit the same shot over and over, so I'd go behind the avocado tree. I'd go back around the other trees and bushes and rough and so forth. And so I would get creative as a kid hitting those shots. And you kind of learn a couple of things. But what I would say, Pat, is that there's really only one way to chip effectively, because you're coming in with no coverage on the ball. You're coming in with so much loft that the leading edge is coming in first. So you have to have your weight forward. That's it. You have to have your weight forward and drive the club down into the ground. And most people, when they do that, their hands either come back or their weight comes back and the leading edge comes up and blades it. Now, you can kind of flip your hands a little bit if you have a good lie. Like if the ball's sitting in the first cut or it's sitting up, but that technique will not work all the time. And so that's why I prefer and believe that the technique where you have your weight forward, your hands forward, and you drive the club down to the ground will be consistent every time. So lay that club flat, move that ball off your left toe, get that ball off your front left toe. There you go. And open that face flat and just drive the club down into the ground. The ball will pop up like a gem.
I think I'm a scratch golfer. Let's go! I think it makes sense, by the way, that your childhood was spent within 30 yards of a green. My childhood was spent kicking a soccer ball off the side of a house. Worked out for me. It's worked out for you much better. You know, it's just like EA Sports is in the game. We're the only media outlet that does not have a deal with them. Like, we don't get free codes. Nope. I'm not even in the fucking game. Mm-hmm. They've asked me to do it. I've said no. I don't want to be a part of it. I mean, that is legit, because I've never played, to be honest. I'm not good at it. But we're the only ones. Yeah, you guys have played. There's a lot of guys in here that have played. A lot of fans have called in and played. We're the only ones that aren't really on an EA Madden payroll at this point. So it's okay for us to come out and say, like, hey, y'all need to stop fucking over your fans. Like, you need to help them. I feel like that's a good thing of this show. You have got to experience so many things, both as a businessman off the field and on the field. Is there a moment when I ask this question, it pops your mind, like, what's the craziest shit you've ever seen in your entire life? Because there was a time there where it felt like you were just getting dropped into insane situations and the world was like watching you do things. Man vs. Wild, you and that Bear Grylls guy, fucking electric. That was maybe the most electric shit I've ever seen. Is there anything that you think of whenever you think, like, what's the most ridiculous thing you've been a part of?
Probably some of the most ridiculous shit I ever been a part of was, you know, I had got the restaurant which I'm in right now, and you know, when we first got it, I would come in here and I would, you know, clean up and go outside in the front, sweep up, you know, make sure everything looked nice and shit. And one morning I got up here and I noticed, you know, like, damn, this is a funky ass smell. And I looked, you know what I mean, to the side of my front door, and it's a big ass pile of shit. And I'm talking about human shit. Yeah, and it's right on the side of the door. So I was like, somebody done came and popped the shit right in front of the door. Like, oh, this shit is crazy. Like, I can't be in here serving food. Motherfucker come walk in and they smell straight ass cheeks when they come in there. Like, I don't think that's the restaurant I need to eat in. So, man, I get the water hose and I'm hosing it down. And, you know, I see, you know, we got a couple, you know, dolphins that usually walk back up in front. Hey, man, did you do this? Like, oh, no. So you know, one of them owned up to it. I said, "Look, man, check it out. So you don't do this no more. Look, you come by here, we get you a, you know what I mean, we get you a broom and you know, you help us, we help you. You feel me? And you know, we put together a little I put a proposition together for him, and I ain't cleaning up shit no more."
It's a win-win. It's a win for everybody on that one. Hey, one of your former teammates. Yeah, hey, everybody wins. You're helping the people, man. That's awesome. That's why people love you. But hey,
one of them owned up to it. Just a line of questioning. The line of questioning.
His name was Willie owned up to. Matter of fact, he just left out. He saying sweeping up. He like, "Hey, what's up? Oh boy, I've been looking for you." You feel? Okay. Yeah, we bust down together up in the front of the restaurant to get it all cleaned up and everything.
Hey, you're helping people. Hey, Willie went from shitting outside to working inside. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go, Willie. Let's go.
Give it up for my boy Willie, man.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show, hour 2 on this Feel Good Friday, September 17th, 2021, years after zero. Hour 2 begins right now. Shout out to you for listening or watching wherever you may be. This is a beautiful Friday. Hour 2 shall see Pete Schrager in about 13 minutes. He makes his illustrious return to the show. I did put him on suspension from the show after Good Morning Football said some things about Aaron Rodgers that I did not necessarily appreciate or like, and I thought was factually incorrect. I told Shregs, hey, sorry about it, pal. Can't talk to you for a while.
Nope. Got to stand for something. Got to fall for everything.
Yeah, exactly. Bingo. So we had to come back, you know, and we missed Shregs a lot.
We did.
I actually can't wait to chat with him. I can't wait to hear what's going on over there at Good Morning Football and what's the inside information he's hearing, because that guy's got connects everywhere. He's sleeping on couches and drinking with people just 10 years ago down at the Senior Bowl who are now head coaches and GMs around the NFL. Yeah. Cannot wait to hear from Peter Schrager, at Boston Connor, Ty Schmidt, all the boys in the back are here. And joining us from his attic in Ohio, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron James Hawk.
Yay!
Oh, wow.
Whoa. So you're not in the attic.
Happy Friday, guys.
You're not in the attic. Where are you?
This is my little spot in the city. Just broadcasting from here for, the weekend.
So you were at the Met Gala. You were. You
Look
were.
at you.
And what? That had to be a $15 million to $20 million penthouse that you're in right now. Absolutely, with the view that there is in the back.
Change.
What part of the city are you in right there?
I'm right where Shregs lives.
Wow. Above him, obviously, because you're AJ Hawk, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely stomping all over the place.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us and making time for us while you're in the Big Apple. There's a lot to do over there. They're saying 30% of the city's back. It's still packed over there. The energy is buzzing. Oh, yeah. Why'd you do? What is this? What's going on here?
Get some furniture.
Oh no, my my bookshelf has down for maintenance for a little bit, so luckily I have it back up.
You are the best. You look fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Great to see you again. Did you watch the game last night? What were your thoughts? Much like JB said, by the way, I thought Danny Dimes looked very good last night. He's obviously, every time, and we said this yesterday, I think I said this verbatim. Every time they play on national television, the next day we go, hey, Danny Dimes is a lot more athletic than people give him credit for. Ran just as fast as Lamar Jackson. I actually said that yesterday. And then as you're watching the game last night, I was like, hey, Danny Dimes, a lot more athletic than people give him credit for. He's just as fast as Lamar Jackson. He was out there slinging it around. They looked like they were playing good. But the Washington football team with that grit and resilience gets the win in the end after the mulligan. Your thoughts on how the night went, AJ Hawk?
I mean, yeah, a hell of an ending to that game. But Danny Dimes, I was thinking of you when I saw him break that long run that got called back. Was that a 70-yarder?
Yeah, but I think it was
like 56.
Yeah, but then remember it was 10 yards from the hold, so he still got like 40 yards or something like that, 30
but
yards.
I thought of you as he was rumbling down the field, like how we were going to say, this guy's more athletic than you think. He really is. Was that their most successful play, that zone read where he kept it because they're crashing down on Saquon?
And they also had another one, I think, where he did a zone read. I think they had a couple designed runs, which I think we're all thankful for. I think we're all very thankful for.
He's reading the end. He's reading that end right there, and the end's going to crash down on Saquon because they're going to honor him more than the running back. But now, if you play the Giants, you're going to have to honor the QB.
Well, they should, by the way. If he has that ability and he's staring down a potential bust title in the NFL because the teams haven't been good, why wouldn't you use all the things that he has? Now, if he has had the success that Patrick Mahomes has had and maybe you're not just designing runs for Patrick Mahomes, but with Danny Dimes having the ability to be like a freak out there, why not add that in there? And a lot of people said that Jason Garrett is the problem. Steve Smith, before the game started last night, they scored 29 points last night, so it's not 5 field goals, obviously, so only 2 tuds or whatever. But Jason Garrett, Steve Smith said, Daniel Jones has a chance to be good. They fired that offensive coordinator. Literally said it like as they were going almost off the air, and everybody was like, whoa, what was that? Let's go back to that. And there's been a lot of saying about, hey, Jason Garrett hasn't called plays in a decade and a half. Offenses are very different now, especially what you have the ability to do with Daniel Jones. Why is this the offense? There's a lot of decisions to be made over there. We need to get that guy running more, I think, though.
I mean, they need to do something. When you watch their offense, it just feels like slow or boring. It feels like there's not a lot of, I don't know, there's not a lot of pre-snap motion, all of the stuff that we're used to seeing, I guess, in kind of what modern offenses are doing. There's not a whole lot of window dressing, and it's just, I don't know. It is kind of weird, and I feel like Saquon is trying as hard as he possibly can every single time he touches the ball. I mean, I feel bad for the dude. I'm like, this guy, like, there's nothing there. Like, it's not a whole lot you can do as a running back when you get the ball and you're doing everything you possibly can to squeak out 2 yards.
And Chase Young was like walking him, so everybody's like, oh, Saquon's not back, but maybe Chase Young's just really fucking fast too.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, maybe that is something.
You see Chase's stride? Like, his stride is unbelievable.
Bro, it's like 5 yards.
Yeah,
it's like 5 yards. It's like
his arms are reaching like 15 yards down the field too as he's running.
Bro, when they do those Bigfoot hunts, you know what I mean? And they say like, "Hey, we saw footprints of this Bigfoot," and it's like boom and then bang and a bang. That's like what Chase Young looked like as they're breaking down him. I mean, it was like guy in Happy Gilmore.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Larson.
The nail in his head.
Mr. Larson, yeah, it was unbelievable to watch that. But who knows with this Giants team? I mean, who knows? And then the Washington football team.
Do you feel better? Do you feel better about the Giants after that game? Like, do you feel like, all right, hey, like they're gonna win 8 or 9 ball games?
I mean, they shot themselves in the foot in a situation that you would never guess they would do, especially with a special teams head coach, right? So that jump off sides on the field goal, can't have it. Nope. Can't have it. Hey, can't have it. Especially whenever the ball misses, you got to feel absolutely terrible about yourself. And it's very difficult to obviously go from 0 to full rush to try to win the game and block the kick. And that is not an easy thing to do. Other people have been able to figure out how to do it, obviously, and not jump off sides and still get a good jump. But that whole mulligan opportunity, I mean, there was just a couple different things that happened last night that you have to think to yourself, like, is this team going to get better? Are they going to be great? Or are they going to continue to not win games? Because that's all they've really done. How long can you do the sprints and the push-ups and the way you do things? And if you continue to lose, people are going to – saw Golladay get pissed off last night. Now there's rumors that a rookie wide receiver who is not – yeah. I started dying laughing when I actually asked, who is this? And they're like, oh, the guy out of Florida, he's supposed to be electric. I'm like, he's a rookie, and after his second game, he's already leaking sources that he's not happy. It's like, whoa, you got to be a stud if you have that much confidence in yourself that you're saying that after your second game. But that type of thing can steamroll. Like, that can continue to happen if you lose games, even if you play good. They could have won that game last night. Very easily could have won that game. Should have won that game last night. But when you lose, everything just kind of compiles on top of each other, and that's only going to continue to happen for the Giants. It's only going to get louder and louder over there.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and I think Coach JB even mentioned it. I listened to some of that when you were talking to him. He was going to check, like, where else does this go on the team? How does the team feel about, like, if it was Daniel Jones, and like, what is the argument, or how do people feel? Like, you got to cut it off right away. That's the thing. Like, you can't. When you're losing, those little things turn into big things, and then everybody freaks out, everyone panics, and you look up and you've won like 4 games at the end of the year.
Yeah, and everybody's fired, and everything's turned, and it's just like, what if, what if Eric Bieniemy was like the offense coordinator for Danny Dimes, because that could have happened. That could have happened.
Oh, yeah.
And I assume whenever the hiring happened, everybody was like, why isn't this happening? But you see what's going on with the Chiefs with motion, every single play with who this Tony guy was compared to Tyreek Hill, which is absurd because Tyreek Hill is
Tyreek Hill.
One of one. But everybody's thinking they could potentially get somebody that's like him. Let's say the fact that, they're not using it. The Chiefs, Travis Kelce's moving before. You have to keep somebody on Travis Kelce, by the way. And the movement not only allows the quarterback to easily decipher what coverage they're in and everything like that. Peyton literally talked about how they would just run the running back out, this guy isn't even really a part of this play. Oh, the linebacker goes, okay, so we're in man. All right, here we go. This is going to be easy. Let's just figure this whole thing out. They don't do anything, really. It's very bland. They do RPOs. I guess they've added that. And did you hear Ray Lewis on that Manning thing say that to beat the RPO before the play, basically the end and the backer just have to decide who's getting what? He said that basically. He said the end just takes quarterback and then the backer will just take, he said it has to be a pre-snap decision that is made. Is that how you stop the RPO, you think? I think that's what he said. I don't remember exactly.
I mean, they're usually, the quarterback's reading usually the overhang player. So, but then if you take away the quarterback and the running back, who's taking the pass then? There's the pass part of that. If the linebacker steps up, is he vacating that zone where the guy just, boom, he looks inside, he catches on the seam?
Yeah, maybe the corner just goes up, then the corner knows that's coming then, right?
Yeah, the RPO, the whole system of the RPO and how it works. I have buddies that are coaching in college football. I never thought I would when I was playing, but I'm like, hey man, I got a lot of questions. How in the hell do you defend this? And they explain it to me, and I'm like, geez, I am very glad that I didn't have to deal with a lot of that. It puts defenders where they can't feel like they can just play full go confident 100% to run their pass. It's I'm always in this in-between land, and it sucks because you can't hit anybody when you do that.
Yeah, and by the way, I think defenses have just understood that they're going to get beat by this thing. Hey, we're going to get beat by this thing. We just can't get beat more than...
Make them go hey, make them drive the length of the field. They'll make a mistake eventually. That's basically what you try to do.
Yeah, but if you're not using that shit to your advantage, if you have it, I think you're... with the where football is right now, with the strategies that have been created and schemed and evolved, it used to be rugby. If you go all the way back, football was basically rugby with pads, and there were some big hits, and you literally had to stop somebody's entire forward momentum, and then the ball would go back, and then it would happen again. The game has evolved, and strategies and schemes and rules have evolved the game. And if we see one offense that is just oh my God, it feels like the defense is just expecting to lose, just trying not to lose as often as the other defenses. And then you see another offense where it's oh, this is 5 years ago when defenses could just dominate games if they wanted to. It's very hard not to be, as a spoiled fan that enjoys a lot of action. And it's very hard to be why aren't they doing what everybody else seems to be doing? I don't understand why the people that see the success that is happening, why aren't they just trying to emulate that? And they'll probably say, well, that's not our style, that's not our scheme, we don't have the players for it or whatever. But whoever's going to get that job is going to bring it in, and they're going to probably end up doing it to a T moving forward.
How much of their the fact that it seems like they can never really get over the hump, or they haven't with Daniel Jones, is that their entire core, all these core pieces are on a team together that they've never really been a part of a winning culture or a winning team, so they don't even really,
They have no vets either, right?
Exactly.
And then 6-year vet was the most vested guy.
I think so. And then you bring in a guy like Galladay, who is a stud, but he never won in Detroit. You know what I mean? It's all these guys who might be dudes, but have never really been a part of a winning culture or a winning locker room.
Jason Garrett.
Right.
Joe Judge is really
and he's the only one. But how much does that change too when you go from just being the special teams coordinator to the head coach?
Yeah, because special teams coordinator, you're with the entire team every day basically. When you become a head coach, granted you're speaking to the team, but it's a different animal with you're in there. That is fascinating because you heard Bruce Arians say, "Hey, our team's winners. This team's a bunch of winners. They figure out how to win." I do believe that is an it factor. And I think some teams can develop it, I guess. But if you have an entire culture of people that, maybe everybody that's been there has won in the past, though.
True.
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. Danny Dimes, he never really won in college, did he?
Yeah, I don't think Duke was ever.
They haven't really done it together, though. There's not a core group of guys that have had success together on the Giants. They just haven't had people around long enough, I feel like. So you may, when sometimes you just catch everybody's looking for somebody else to make a play. Okay, I hope Charles Woodson gets a pick on this play. That's that would be me standing in my stance if I wouldn't think like that.
Okay. I'm getting killed. Hey, you're supposed to be like fucking great guy. Why don't you make a pick? Can we get that?
That usually happens.
Yeah, and he would, by the way, from what I've heard, he would do that.
Turns the game around, yeah.
That is, because the play don't care who make it. Right? One of my favorite quotes I've ever heard. Like, hey, there's going to be a play in this game that's going to change the entire game. It's called Turning Point on TV. They made an entire show of it. But that play doesn't care who makes it. And that's like such an incredible like mindset towards it. But there is, I think, some people, and I don't know this for sure because I haven't been on the field with them necessarily. There are people who are just like hoping just to hang on here and not be the reason why you lose, as opposed to being, this play could be the play that I make the game changer. And then there's other people that are like, I'm not going to be the reason why we fucking lose this game. There's two different people there, and I think that is a part of the winning culture thing. That could be a part of the winning culture thing,
especially when you have the game.
Yeah.
Like,
go ahead, AJ.
No, like non-winning cultures, you hope to win. You're looking for other people, and there's just, I don't know. It's a weird thing, but a winning culture, you expect to win. Like, you don't sit there and hope. You just like, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah,
we know it.
And hopefully the Giants will be able to get that, but it doesn't seem like they've been able to do that. What were you going to say, Connor?
Well, James Bradbury last night, like he makes that pick. They should end up winning that game, but because of this, kind of winning culture conversation, it's like they're almost destined to lose every single game because they don't have the Bruce Aaron winners all over the place.
How about the money you lost last night?
I don't know. We're not talking about that.
Schrag did not answer, actually. He might be suspending us because of my announcement publicly.
I think it said 130, at least on the graphic that Zeke sent, I think it was 130.
Really?
The graphic did say 130. I remember that now, but the sheet says 115.
Oh, so now we got a sheet graphic situation going. We got graphics department and sheet department not being on the same page. Let me see what Schrager said.
I didn't know they were two different departments.
Hey, please 130.
Okay.
It's like VaynerMedia over there.
100% my fault because I said 115, I believe. So this is actually, I told both departments 130. And I think then I had a private conversation with the sheet department, and sheet department and I probably say I think it's 115 actually. Yeah. And then I never talked to the graphics department.
Sure.
And by the way, sheet department, Connor.
Yep.
Graphics department, a combination of Zito, Dirty Gertie now in the game, can't wait to have him, and Foxy will dance every once in a while. So that's those are the two departments, and there's not separate offices. We socially distance, obviously, but I believe every department is in the same area at all times. Yeah. Every department is in the same area at all times.
That was incredible humility and accountability by you. I just want to say a lesser man would have just chopped off the head of the sheet department.
Yeah, well, because it is here on the sheet at 115, but 100% my fault because I told the sheet department.
What did you want him to do, Nick?
What's that?
How would you have liked Pat to respond?
That's not for me to decide, AJ. Pat runs this business how he sees fit. It's not, I'm just a mere human.
Nick
along for the
loves
ride.
controversy.
Yeah, you heard. Heads will roll.
Nick, like those emails.
Why did he ask you? He asked you to cut Connor's head off.
Oh, he wanted me to remember that for next time. That's why Nick did that. Nick dropped that in my ear for hey, next time also potentially because the way things are here. Nick loves that. Nick, those emails that I send to those companies, Nick, whoa, he'll, you know what I mean?
Here we go.
Tweets that
he gets rocked up for sure.
Yes, for instance, he'll even send me some tweets of people things that they say to me that he thinks hey, you gonna let this fly?
See this one?
Hey, Nick will even do that type of shit, So I think that's what he was. But Connor, I could never blame the sheets department, dude.
Well, we should have checked in with the graphics department just so we're all on the same page.
I mean, there was two different times on a graphic and on a sheet, and only one of us knew the answer, and that was me. And that's because I booked Schrager, by the way. So for those keeping score at home.
Okay. Add another one for Pat.
Yeah, another one on the score sheet. Let's go to the 5 Hour Energy phone line, shall we, AJ, to hear how people are feeling about either Thursday night or maybe going into a great football weekend. Let's go to old Steve-O in Pennsylvania. What's going on, Steve? Oh, fuck.
Hey.
No. Oh, Steve, what's going on, dude?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound amazing. Happy Feel Good Friday, Steve. What do you want to talk about?
Hey, happy Feel Good Friday to you and the boys. Love the show.
Oh, we love
T's and P's to the tone.
All right, Todd. I think he's all right, by the way. He sounded like he was all right. He cried yesterday whenever he missed the Tomlin interview.
Oh, yeah.
I do believe he's okay.
Get healthy, Tom.
Yeah, T's and P's,
As an avid Browns fan, I was really disappointed he didn't get to catch that either. So that was a good interview.
That's fucked up, dude. Okay.
Dude.
That's rude, dude. What do you want to talk about, brother?
Well, I was actually calling in regards with you being out in Indiana and originally from PA up here. Do you ever go to any of the wingless sprint car races down there? Because you guys are kind of in the hotbed for it. With you said you used to have training camp out Terre Haute and stuff. Terre Haute, Kokomo, Gas City.
Anderson.
What?
He's from Philly?
Yep.
Yeah. I think he's from maybe Poconos, maybe middle of the state. I'm not 100% sure. Could have asked him. Sprint car is actually insanity. Okay, so they just drift.
That's the long one, right? The real long one? Or are you talking the...
No, that's funny car. Yeah, that's funny car. The sprint car it's like these little caged, kind of looks like...
like a big go-kart.
Nah, kind of, but it's like it's almost like, what are those things you ride out in the desert almost?
A dune buggy?
Yeah, it's like a dune buggy almost, and then they got these fat-ass wheels on the back, and they just drift these things around, basically. It's on dirt. They just drift, and these things, hey.
Oh, yeah.
They don't get out of your car on the track, obviously, in those races.
Especially if...
Bingo.
Tony Stewart owns a track in Ohio.
Yeah,
exactly.
Smoke does absolutely own a track. He is a accomplished sprint race, you get it. But yeah, they drift. I would want to do that one time. It's very dangerous though, because those things just flip.
Are you doing the emergency brake right there? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm shifting, pal. That's a shift.
Okay. That was a handbrake.
Yeah.
I thought it was a handbrake to drift.
No, actually, because you got to feather.
You and Nick Hogan.
Oh, okay.
You got to feather the gas, I believe. Let's. We got some breaking news out of Green Bay, by the way. Oh, no. Ian Rappaport is reporting that Stacey Dales is reporting that the Packers' best pass rusher is headed to IR. Packers coach Matt LaFleur right now on Zadarius Smith. He's going to IR. Oh. Why not try to get him as healthy as possible so we can have him more readily available later? We're going to have to shut him down for a while. Zadarius Smith made a couple plays this weekend, right?
Yeah, he only played 18 snaps, but yeah, he had that pressure on Jameis where he threw the pick, and then they called roughing the passer. And
now he goes to IR. What's the rules? 3 weeks? 5 weeks?
3 weeks, I think, is...
3 weeks, shut him down. I'm sure that's good for the Packers defense, you know what I mean, that just gave up 38 to Jameson and boys down there in Duval. So just your immediate thoughts, A.J. Hawk, on this entire move. I think it's smart to get somebody completely healthy, obviously, in IR now that you can return. Back in the day, you weren't able to do that. Seems like this will probably be the right move, but this stinks for the Packers defense. It needs everything they got out there.
Well, yeah, it's terrible, but they got to think long term. He's dealing with a back issue, and anyone that knows, when you have any kind of back issue, it affects every single second of your day. It's brutal. So I have no idea how bad his is and how much the time off will help, but you would think, hey, get him as close to 100% as he can. So if we do go make this run, he's good to go and he doesn't wear out.
What is it? Is it bone, muscle, cartilage in his back? Do we know?
Oh, I don't know. He's got an upper body is probably what they said.
Upper body. Hey, because I've been through a couple eras of my life where I started getting a couple of spasms in my back out of nowhere. And it's not like they have no idea why it's happening either. It just came out of nowhere. It's oh my God, what was that? Am I dehydrated? And and it just changes your entire life. The back, I'm very thankful that my back is good and I'd have to run my face into people that could affect the back and get into a car crash basically every single play. The back is such a debilitator. You know, Tom Pelissero experienced it when he tried to tie his shoe the other day.
That's exactly right.
The back
How's he doing?
Well, allegedly, he was trying to get a Kleenex to his daughter who sneezed or something.
Yeah. Had nosebleed
or something like that. And he let me get you. And then, boom, Dahn. Dragged out, carted him off.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to talk about that. How about that guy's leg? Oh.
Benny Gates.
Oh, my God. Just got voted captain. Seemed like everybody loved him. Everybody on the team came around. He saw Chase Young grab his foot there at the end. I feel like everybody has great respect for him. Him smiling on the way. I mean, offensive linemen are different, okay? They expect zero appreciation and acknowledgement. That's real. Expect nothing. They get in fights literally every single day. They have to carry around a lot of weight, most of them, that they don't want to carry, so their body is miserable, their knees, their joints, and everything like that. And then they will laugh and smile while getting carted off the field whenever we all saw their shin turn sideways. I mean, the offensive linemen are just a different animal. I feel so bad for this guy. He is beloved by everybody, but what a savage of a human being able to take that. He was carted all the way down and laid down, and I think he broke off V for Vendetta coming out of there. It was unbelievable. I have the utmost respect for the big boys. The utmost respect for them, just because their lives are miserable. And it's just like they expect nothing in return. It's like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be almost. You know, AJ?
Yeah. Like, hey, if I do my job, nobody notices me, basically, is how it goes when you're an O-lineman. Like, hopefully they don't notice I'm here, because that means I'm doing a hell of a job.
And it's not an easy job. It's
are you kidding me? Look at Chase Young. Have fun blocking him. Good luck.
And if he beats you one time out of 60 reps every single game, that guy's probably going to go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All right. You are going to get cut.
Yeah.
If you give up 1 or 2 sacks every game, you are going to get cut. Taylor Lewan, one of the best in the game, he gives a 5. That means he won probably like 45 reps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about those. Nobody will ever talk about those. And that's life for the offensive lineman. And that leg was disgusting.
Oh, bad.
I mean, that thing turned left.
Especially because he was obviously the leader of the O-line, and they were playing much better, at least week 1 and last night.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And the offensive line, I didn't even know that Gettleman, since 2016 or 2017 when he got there, he's been saying we need to fix this offensive line.
Yeah.
We need to
He's
fix
whipped
it.
down a couple
Gates
draft
was his
picks.
guy.
I've seen a couple teams, take 5-6 years not be able to figure out the offensive line, and then the quarterback just retires.
Who did that?
Yikes.
I mean,
Who was that?
I mean, it's happened in the NFL. It has happened in the NFL.
Is that the Hard
Hey,
Knocks team?
are you doing voiceover for Hard Knocks?
Okay. All right. It was announced last night.
Hey, do you have to break for Shregs or not?
We should break for Shregs, but we haven't talked about this, and it's pretty, I think, relevant to our show. I had no idea. People think, everybody was telling me that I knew, and I had to have known when I asked Ian Rappaport yesterday, and Ian Rappaport's face was like, oh, you don't know, because I'm in Indianapolis, and I was just in the Colts stadium. I had no idea this was the case. I did call afterwards, this morning and say, what's this all about? I couldn't even get a fucking heads up. What are we even doing there? And obviously, I was joking, and it was something that they kept locked down for a bit. They're covering from November 17th or whatever all the way through the end of the season. I mean, they're I guess they've been collecting stuff now in training camp. They've been collecting stuff, and we might, maybe potentially be a part of one episode.
Oh!
Nice. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. I guess it's potentially been floated out there. Who knows? Either way, we do not care. I just hope that this doesn't affect the Indianapolis Colts from becoming a team that they could potentially become. That's the biggest deal. I know the all or nothings on Amazon have happened before. Panthers, Cardinals, I believe a couple other teams or whatever have done it. So I think it has been done before. There is a blueprint, but I just hope this doesn't affect the Indianapolis Colts becoming the greatest Indianapolis Colts they can become in 2021. I don't think it will be, and I'm very excited to watch behind the scenes of how this team, this building operates right down the road from us here.
I can't wait to watch behind. Like, that's what everyone wants to see. I want to see how the coach addresses them every day when he comes into the team meeting, like what all of that looks like, some of the interactions. But HBO, are they praying that the Colts continue, like they go and they win a bunch of games? Like, what if they're almost out of the hunt by the time they start airing this thing?
Yeah. Listen, they're not going to be, AJ. Get out.
I know. I think they're going to be good. I know they're good. But I'm just saying, like, HBO has a lot riding on them winning some games.
Yeah, November 17th, some things are already figured out by then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some things could be figured out by then. I don't think that's going to be the case with the Colts, obviously, not with this Carson Wentz. And if they learn how to block him a little bit better, hey, Eric Fisher's back. Don't you worry about it. It's going to be great television on HBO. But I like that it's going all the way through.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Let's go ahead and do this thing. Let's enjoy it. We're back in 4 minutes with a man who probably knows more about it than us, Pete Schrager from Good Morning Football. He's an award-nominated host.
Whoa.
I believe. And also, Flying Coach was awesome this offseason, got us through some weeks that were miserable. We can't wait to chat with Peter Schrager again on the other side of this 4-minute break. We'll see you then. I got to hop on a plane and fly to New Jersey.
Big time, no man now. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of slime, smoky in the air, it's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time.
Thank you all so much. Without you, none of this is possible. From all of us! That was a little lame reaction. We appreciate the Did you hear everything that was being said whenever you were potentially?
Just from you.
Oh, so you did hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
Wait.
let's address
Hey,
it.
Hold on.
All right.
You can be a hater.
No,
And
Carson.
you can change.
Carson.
You can change. We can change.
No,
your opinion.
at the moment I was at, okay, Carson. You know, with the Daily Show, the live Daily Show, you know, we can potentially get referred to as prisoners of the moment. You probably did hear me say some things. That was at a much different time.
Backtrack with it.
No,
It's cool. We're here face to face. You can change. People change, all right?
By the way, you are much bigger than I thought you were.
Oh, yeah.
When Jalen gets drafted there, was that the beginning of it all? Was there a miscommunication? What happened between you and Doug? Because they were saying it was fractured beyond repair.
Yeah.
What happened there? Is all of that accurate? Is that all kind of getting blown out of proportion?
Yeah.
And where did it start?
For one, I don't like to ever come out and say reporters aren't telling the truth because I don't. But
Orlovsky does it.
I'm not. I'm not going to dispute every report that's out there. You know, the way the season went obviously wasn't ideal. When Jalen was drafted, that had no bearing on me. I trusted the organization.
Okay.
I signed that contract. You know, I was devoted to them, and I felt like they were devoted to me. So I trusted the pick. You know, that had no bearing on my confidence or my abilities. You know, the season unfolded not how I would have liked it. Personally, I could have played better. We lost a lot of games at the end and just didn't fall into place the way we wanted. But there's a lot to learn from it, you know, as a man, as a player, and all those things. And, you know, I have still a lot of respect for Coach Peterson, and I think without a doubt those reports are very exaggerated. Like I said, I don't hear a lot of them. They come to my attention from my agents or different things.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of respect for him, and it was unfortunate for everybody and how the whole thing kind of just went down.
There was a couple still shots that made its way around where you and Doug Peterson appeared to be giving each other a nasty look.
I saw those.
It's not true.
Not true at all.
Oh, you were not saying, I wish you died. With your
I don't even think I was looking at him in those shots. So I did see that. I'm like, of course, they're going to play this one up. They're gonna make a story out of anything. That's how it is. So, but yeah, that's not true at all.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear you weren't giving Doug Peterson death looks. Like you never thought like, oh, football isn't for me. Like there was never a thought where I don't like football anymore. Or I don't want to be in this bullshit league anymore with this business. There was never a thought like that.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. The way the season went, I mean, it was frustrating. And
People
so
have those moments.
that's why I stepped away, and it almost rejuvenated me. You know, it's almost like last year pissed me off so much. I want to come back in a different way and do everything I can. I am thrilled to be here and to have this new start, new opportunity. And community seems amazing. Fan base seems amazing. Like we said, it seems like the perfect fit.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Nothing washes down a losing bet quite like an ice-cold liquid death.
Hell yeah.
What? Although we may have a booze hound or two, the tall boys we slam around the office are actually delicious mountain spring water from the Alps.
What? The Alps?
Oh! That water right there came from the Alps. Go ahead and chug that thing down that ice cold.
Oh, yeah,
liquid.
ice cold. Can't do it.
Oh, my God, your teeth are burning.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You're seeing these everywhere now, by the way, because there is potentially a plastic shortage.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, liquid death, water in a can.
Boom.
Ice cold water in a can.
Yeah, no hyperbole. Ice cold.
Is taking over. We're constantly murdering our thirst with the best water brand on the planet, Liquid Death. While we murder our thirst, we're also helping out murdering plastic. Here we go. And 10% of proceeds go to stopping plastic pollution. There's nothing quite like the mountain water of an ice cold can, and you need to try it today. Get free shipping on all water and merch at liquiddeath.com. The merch is dope, obviously.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Liquiddeath.com/McAfee. That's liquiddeath.com/McAfee. Or grab some at Whole Foods and 7-Eleven.
Okay.
I will say, when a case of Liquid Death arrives, go ahead and take that case. You put them out. You put them in the fridge, all of them. You shut that door, you come back an hour later. Delicious.
Yeah.
Freezing cold water.
Oh, yeah.
Long can ice cold water. That's what Liquid Death's got. Go to liquiddeath.com/McAfee or go to Whole Foods or 7-Eleven to find that. AJ, we have to address something before our guest joins us. Kadarius Toney has come out with a tweet talking about what we had been talking about, which was a report that allegedly he was not happy with the lack of action he was getting for the Giants offense. Number 20 overall pick in this last year's draft. We're only 2 games into the season. He allegedly, sources said, he got a sports car and we ain't fucking driving it. He's come out and said, y'all try to turn anything into something. Shake my head. We good over here. All right, I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. That was the right move, by the way. The Giants continue to move things forward. Joining us right now to hopefully give us some inside information is not only happening with the Giants, but everywhere else in the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, award-nominated host of Good Morning Football and also Flying Coach, which was on Spotify. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete Schrager.
Hey, Pete!
What's up, Schrags?
What's up, guys? I love being on with you. I was up late last night watching that one. Crazy ending. And, of course, you wake up to the Tony stuff, but Giants fans feeling really bad right now because that game was lost on the stuff that Joe Judge preaches: discipline, penalties, accountability. Pat, you know special teams, brother. Is Dexter Lawrence blocking a field goal? What are we doing? Why would he even be offside? Is he ever blocking that field goal? Why is he jumping offsides? And yet you're a special teams coach, Joe Judge. You're almost like, hey, that's the one facet of the game. We should be pretty dialed in and pretty locked in.
Yeah, I know you're not going to block a kick if you're not getting off on the ball. I know that. So I think that's what he was trying to do, obviously. Let's dive in a little bit there. Saw the Galladay stuff, then the Tony stuff came out. Is this all obviously getting cooked up because they're losing games still? Or is there actual need to worry if you're a Giants fan, which there is actually one in this office somehow? Is there need to worry? Like, is this a potential make or break year for everybody over there? Or are they still taking their time, you think, from what you're hearing, Peter Schrager?
No, what scares you, Pat, is that they, finally get this game out of Daniel Jones, who was outstanding last night, and you finally get the Jason Garrett game plan that plays to Jones's abilities, where he's doing the RPO and it's working, and you still lose. And you lose on things like having a false start out of a timeout, or you lose on things like going off sides on a field goal, or you lose on things like the Slayton drop. It was mistakes that were sloppy. That's what kills you. And, they're 0-2, but they're 0-2 to Teddy Bridgewater and Taylor Heineke. There's better quarterbacks that are coming ahead. And this is the 5th year in a row they started 0-2. That goes back to McAdoo. It goes to Shermer. And now it goes to the 2nd straight year of Joe Judge. Look, is there a hot seat thing? No, but when 4 different veterans retire in the offseason because they don't like the way things are kind of going for the veterans, and then you go 0-2 and you have 2 different players, and one of them screaming on the sidelines, the other one on Instagram to start the day. And then, of course, you have a bunch of people pointing fingers in the New York media market. It's not a great way to start things. It's certainly not an optimistic feeling right here in New York where I'm at right now.
Hey, what about on the flip side with Washington, with Heineke there and the game that he played? I know afterwards he said he feels like he deserved to start the rest of the season. What do you think, what does the future look like for Heineke, not only this season, but even after that maybe?
Yeah, that was an awesome game. And AJ, the fact that he spoke that way, I think he's pretty confident. But I also like the way Scott Turner called that game. It wasn't let's protect Taylor Heineke and win with defense and special teams. It was like, let Taylor cook. And he was throwing the ball all over the field. And he's kind of loosey-goosey with it. He threw the pick to Bradbury, but I almost like that. They're like, let's throw the rock. So he says, I want to be the starter. I wouldn't be shocked if he wins a couple games that, Fitzpatrick just is what Fitzpatrick is, gets back in 8 weeks. And it's, hey, if you need me, I'm here. But if Taylor's cooking, let's keep rolling with what's working.
All right, let's bounce around the NFL a little bit here. Zadarius Smith just went on IR. Odell Beckham Jr. is out for this week. Is there any need to worry about Odell Beckham Jr.? And we'll start with Zadarius Smith. Was this expected?
Yeah, there's a Darius one. You were hoping to see him back, just not ready to go. Between him and Bakhtiari and a couple other injuries and the 2 starting players on the offensive line being rookies, without Lindsley out there, without Bakhtiari, here's the thing. And I know you guys have Rodgers on every Tuesday, and I watched the interview, and I know everywhere that's been said is we're not panicking, stop, everyone relax. I would just say this. When they started out 8-2 and lost to the Niners in 2019 in LaFleur's first year, it was like, well, we're 8-2, we'll be fine. Last year, when the Buccaneers blew them out 38-10, they were 4-0. I was like, we'll be fine. I know they've got Detroit coming up, but they also have Pittsburgh and San Francisco after that. And LaFleur has never dealt with one of these deals where it's out of the gates, we're in a hole, let's climb ourselves out of it. They're going to win the division. They're going to be fine. But after this offseason and a little if they start out 2-2, 1-3, are we sure this is just smooth sailing? Everyone relax and chill out. Fascinated to see how LaFleur, who's kind of, he's inherited Rodgers, and to be 8-2 out of the gates as a rookie head coach, and then last year cruise to, division title. Maybe it's a little adversity. I'm curious to see how this team responds because Zadarius is a huge piece also. between Bakhtiari and Zedarius, those could be 2 of their top 5 players on the roster.
And Odell Beckham Jr., what's going on there?
Went to try out to go and play last week, decided it wasn't good, and then this week they're already calling him out. I think we're going to see him eventually, but certainly I would think week 3 or week 4 we're going to get some Odell, but I know they want him on the field, and I think he's just being cautious, and the medical staff's being cautious, but not expecting to see him obviously this weekend. But I would think week 3 or week 4, based on the fact that he wanted to go week 1 and just couldn't get it there, I think that hopefully we'll see Odell on the field at some point soon.
Yeah, because they got some sports cars there. Right?
yeah.
He's just parked in the parking lot. You know what I mean? Let's get him on the field. Can't wait for it. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Pete, were you as surprised as we were that Kyler Murray won the first MVP of the season? Because after that Stafford performance on Sunday night, we thought he was getting slime for sure.
Yeah, what about slime time, dude?
Right, and Nate Burleson, love that guy. Is there a job he hasn't accepted? And he's out there and he's cheering for him and he's going nuts. I was busting Nate's chops. Don't worry, it's not like I don't do it there. It's Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart are like, is there a little bit too much Nate Burleson going on right now?
Trey got that shovel. Trey's got that shovel.
That's my guy.
Oh my God!
Burying you.
I love what Kyler did. Stafford had the highest passer rating of week 1. Basically, didn't even get into things, but Kyler looked pretty good. I'm fine with Kyler getting the award. And I think it was young Dylan, Nate Burleson, and Dylan Schefter, Adam Schefter's daughter, awarding him that award. I like that panel. I'm all for it. Let's go.
Yeah. Mitchell Trubisky, first ever MVP winner, though. We got to make sure everybody remembers that. That was kind of forgotten about in that tweet. First ever.
Right.
It was like, whoa. Mitchell Trubisky didn't win much in Chicago, but he did win the MVP. Let's have a little bit of respect. Go ahead, Ty.
Shregs, what the hell's the deal with Good Morning Football? Is Chris Carter permanently getting that seat there? Or what can we expect?
Yeah, what the fuck are you guys doing over there? What are we doing?
Good.
This is our morning.
Yeah,
and I'm sure we're not the only ones that are saying this, but you guys, what are we doing? Are we getting some consistency over there or what?
We are getting a couple of tastes of some different folks, but apparently we're rotating that for now. We've seen D'Angelo Hall, we've seen Mike Robinson, seen Thomas Davis, saw Chris Carter. Do one of you guys want to try? The seat is open. We'll try them out.
You guys can't afford us, Shregs.
I know.
Yeah.
Pat, what's your agent's name? I like that guy. He's been on your show a bunch of times in the past few years. What's his name?
He does not. Yeah, he's a good guy. He does not talk for me anymore, though. I'll tell you that.
JB.
He would have got me that job, by the way.
JB.
Coach JB. Yeah, Jason Brown is my agent. You have to go through
Let's
him.
go, Coach.
But we love the show. We legitimately love the show. And it's like, I think that show is one that people are going to have to catch a rhythm to get in, don't you?
No, I also think this, like, say what you want. We love the show too, but like Kyle and I are bringing it. And like, I like kind of having the rotating host because it's a different feel. It's not it's a little, like today, Chris Carter. So, he's critical of players. We don't.
He buried Big Ben yesterday.
He buried Big Ben, which I wasn't there for that yesterday.
I didn't see that, by the way. Had Tomlin on. Wish I would have asked Tomlin
What'd
about
he say?
it.
What'd he say about Ben?
I didn't see it till after the show. I guess he legit won hard at Big Ben on Good Morning Football.
I got to be honest. I didn't see the clip either. I just saw it. I wasn't there yesterday, so I got a bunch of tweets about it. I didn't see what he said identical, but I know Steelers fans were like, whoa, that was harsh. But Chris is the kind of guy that's going to come at you. Thomas Davis came on. We never have defensive players. Thomas Davis comes on and gives this perspective from the linebacker spot. And I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool. Mike Robinson has a Seahawks connection. I'm like, that's kind of cool. And then obviously I love D'Angelo Hall, who's been in the seat a bunch of times. So it's like we're getting all new hosts. I don't know even who's on next week with us, but I kind of like it, and it keeps us on our toes. But you know that we're going to bring it no matter what. So I appreciate you asking. I hope everyone tunes in. It's like the Jeopardy seat. We don't know.
We do love the show. We watch every single morning, and we love Thomas Davis as well, and Mike Robinson and D'Angelo. We love all. But I will say, keep the linebackers out of it. Listen, as somebody that has been forced to have to deal with one every single day,
AJ.
It's a game changer. Linebackers will come in and they'll do that
Salt
meat guy,
bag.
that meat guy with toxicity too. Linebackers ain't scared to mix it up. You know what I mean? That's what we've experienced. I'm sure Thomas is different, but that's our perspective from linebackers that we've got, Shrakes. Not that our opinion means anything.
AJ, your thoughts? I'm not going to say anything. What are your thoughts on that?
He knows.
Sacho and Acho are both on TV all the time, aren't they?
Sacho and Acho.
Yeah, they're brothers. They played football. Emmanuel Acho's on Speak for yourself.
Yep.
And Sacho was on ESPN. We don't know what has happened with Ocho.
Assuming the transition's happening for Sacho.
He's going to Fox as well?
That's just my assumption.
Really?
Okay, that's big-time TV talk right there. Sports
There we
media.
go. Sports media news.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, I like that. Are you predicting this? Okay.
Or
are you the Schefter of sports media?
We hit on Hard Knocks yesterday. Let's just see if we carry it into the Sacho drama.
Go ahead, AJ. Sorry about that, pal.
Hey, what about Zito's Bears? What are they going to look like 3 weeks from now? What does their offense look like?
What scares you is not the offense. And I think, AJ, you could speak to this, Pat, you as well, that is like a team that's built on defense, and they were lost week one. And they had a whole offseason prepared. And the defensive backfield, which used to be the strength with Pagano, and I know Sean Desai was a defensive backs coach. He's now the defensive coordinator. They were lost. It's guys like Kindle Vildor who we're not familiar with, and it's like you're being put out there at week one. Let's go do our assignments. And Cooper Kupp is 20 yards behind Eddie Jackson and him, and then they don't touch Van Jefferson. Like, that's what concerns me about the Bears. I think they'll figure themselves out on offense. Eventually, Fields will be the quarterback. But if that defense, I could tell you, speaking with people in the Rams organization, like, they didn't go all the way into the playbook even. There's still plenty that we haven't seen. So they basically, did what they wanted to with the Bears. Burrow's coming in there, and it's not like this is some stiff. Burrow wants to throw all over them also. I think that the Bengals might throw 300, 400 yards too if it's the same defensive effort. Wow. So we love Khalil Mack.
Bear Dahn.
No. We love the front seven, but the back was downright disgusting on Sunday night. So I think they need to cure that before we even worry about. Andy Dalton was fine. Justin Fields wasn't winning that game either if they're giving up 34 points.
Okay, so let's talk about the Rams a little bit, because we do know that you have a very good connection. You hosted a show with somebody of the Rams. They had to be just so pumped. He had to be so pumped with Matthew Stafford. Listening to the interviews leading up and the conversations that are happening and the things that people are saying about Matthew Stafford, both out of the building and from out there, like, hey, we're hearing that Matthew Stafford is, his football IQ is through his leadership, his passion, everything is like so great. Has that just been exactly... we're only one game into this thing, and it looked awesome. The second ball was a 75-yard. Is it working out exactly how both of them thought it was going to whenever they were down in Mexico getting drunk together at a pool while, 3 first-rounders were sent out of town?
Yeah, and it's early, but yeah, and week one went as well as they possibly could have asked. And I could tell you that last week at practice, they had a great Wednesday practice, and then Friday did 7-on-7, and the ball didn't touch the ground. And coming into Sunday night with all those festivities, there was no nerves, no butterflies in the stomach, nothing. It was like, let's just go and go take care of business, and they did. And Stafford's happy, he's healthy, Sean is happy, obviously. And those other receivers, like Cooper Kupp, obviously had a great game. Robert Woods had the toe tap on the back of the end zone, but we haven't even seen the Deshaun Jackson package. We haven't really seen the Tutu Atwell package. They've got other guys. Everyone's going to get fed. Everyone's going to get theirs. They're coming into Indy. That's a tough game. You might even go to that game. It's in your backyard. That's a tough game, but I think that they're pretty confident that no matter what is in front of them on defense, they're going to put up points, and they can do that with Stafford at quarterback.
What's that, AJ? Why are you shaking your head like that?
Aren't you going to go swing that baby hammer again?
Hey, it's not a baby hammer. That thing was much heavier than any hammer you have at your house, okay? And in that little penthouse of New York City.
Right.
Okay? That thing was much heavier.
Where is that? Where are you?
There you go.
Me? Oh, I'm in Brooklyn. Where are you?
I'm in Brooklyn also. I'll see you in a bit.
Down the street.
Shregs, he was the 5th pick overall, be in the old CBA. He's in a couple buildings, I think, above you. He's in a couple. I think
that's fun.
Yeah, that's AJ Hawk's life.
I've made a career out of kissing asses of guys who make a lot more money than you.
Schrager, you are the fucking best, dude. We have missed you. Last question here from me. Speaking of the Colts, and hopefully it is a tough game for the Rams. Last week, Russell Wilson was cooking, obviously, and then he was incredible on Monday Night Manning. I've become a Russell Wilson fan, actually, in 2 days. I think the Colts will be back. Colts, Hard Knocks, HBO, November 17th, every week going forward. I've heard that they're potentially collecting some clips now, but it doesn't really get going until November 17th. Was this a poorly kept secret? Did most people know about this? Is this all or nothing style? You think that's why Hard Knocks is getting into this? And how did this all come to be? I feel like you are the perfect person for this conversation in the sports media world.
Yeah, and we also have a connection to NFL Films. They're working at Good Morning Football. We deal with them a lot on that, on the Hard Knocks promotion. I didn't know this was going to be the news. at all until it was announced, which means they kept a good lid on it. I don't know what we're getting. What I think is really interesting is it's either on Netflix or Amazon. That F1 series has been a huge hit, and it's really grown the sport tremendously. And as much as we love the Hard Knocks beats of the preseason or the training camp and the 53rd man on the roster trying to make the squad and everything, hope springs eternal, I don't think we've ever had the Hard Knocks treatment. And nothing against the Amazon All or Nothing, which is also good, but the Hard Knocks treatment with Liev Schreiber and what that entails for a team in season. Now, I would assume the Colts are going to be playing relevant football in November and December, but they need to start rattling off some victories rather quickly.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, Shregs. Can't thank you enough. Hopefully we get a chance to chat with you more often. You're the best, dude. We've missed you around here.
I love coming on with you guys. You guys are the best. Truly, I mean that. Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, award-winning host of Good Morning Football. You'll see him on Sunday on Fox. Also the host of Flying Coach. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Schrager. Hey, Nate Burleson taking it on the shins. Is that from the entire Good Morning Football crew? You think?
Feels like it.
I was like, you go do CBS this morning. You got to talk about, the Taliban, and then all of a sudden you're on Nickelodeon. And what's that all about? Hey, Nate Burleson's eating, dude.
Yeah, he is. Even Kevin Hart's sick of it.
Tiffany Haddish as well.
Yeah, taking food off Lex Lumpkin's plate, too. I don't love that.
Why did they move Lex Lumpkin out
I
of
don't
that
know.
show?
I've still been trying to figure it out, and until I do figure it out, I am fucking boycotting that show. I won't watch it.
No, I'll watch it. Because
What show?
Slime Time.
Dude. Wake up.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Wait, are we talking like when Nickelodeon shows a game, or are you talking about a show that's on like at
There
6
is
p.m.?
a show, dude. It's called Slime Time. It's
Yes.
once a week. Nate Burleson's there. They awarded the next MVP. They called it the first MVP. The first MVP was Mitchell Trubisky. He's been kind of thrown aside.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. We don't need you anymore. First one was Kyler Murray. He celebrated. There was Slime Time. Everything was going on. It's once a week that show's happening. Yeah, Slime Time.
There
dude.
it is.
Spend a little more time with your kids watching Nickelodeon, AJ, instead of trying to slip toxic stuff into this show.
Yeah, you're right. All this guy watches is UFC with his kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All Axel's watching out there is, Friday Night SmackDown, obviously. UFC.
What?
And then every documentary that Bruce Lee has ever put out about killing people.
That's right.
I mean, that is all the hot
we,
guys.
then we top it off with Faces of Death right before bedtime.
All right, you're a terrible dad. I think people should start investigating you a little bit. I cannot believe you didn't know anything about Slime Time, dude.
It's ridiculous.
But also, there's another host.
You act like the world knows what show you're talking about.
Everyone knows.
Everyone knows
Everybody.
fucking. I didn't watch Nickelodeon not one time growing up. I knew Slime Time was happening. You know why? Nate Burleson's on there.
Boom.
Boom. Have I watched this show? Yeah, I've seen a clip.
Absolutely.
I've seen a clip.
Yeah.
They actually shot so in Ring of Honor, I think is where it started. People would have these streamers basically, and they would throw them onto the ring basically if they hated somebody. It was just like I think it was Ring of Honor. I'm not 100% sure. I might have been wrong, and I apologize. I did not pay close enough attention to all the indies as I was in the NFL, but I think it started. You're talking like 100, 200 people throwing streamers onto the ring. It was awesome. I mean, a nightmare to clean up, I'd assume.
Oh, yeah.
But it created quite an optical. They had a bunch of those streamers shoot down over top of Nate Burleson and everything like that. And he actually had one on his arm while he continued to talk. I mean, it was Slime Time, baby.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it was the MVP. Of course I'm going to watch that show, AJ Hawk. It's a feel-good story forever. What's your
Hey,
deal?
I'm a big fan of Nate. I'll be DVRing it now.
What's your deal?
Well, take that fucking budget and maybe give it to Lex Lumpkin instead of hiring bootleg Lex Lumpkin.
Are you kidding me?
I'm done with it. He was the best part about that goddamn game last year. Hey, should I slime Cameron Jordan? Should I not? I'm trying to slime him. I can't. His quips were unbelievable, and this is how they treat him.
How do you know? Have you seen any?
Nah, we'll watch it.
was
Ain't
good.
fucking Lex.
This kid was good as
He
well.
was real good.
Give me a break.
He was good.
That's our guy.
We've seen this before.
That's our guy. Go ahead.
That's my guy.
Go ahead.
They did this to Zubin.
Well, see, I thought we were going to end up here.
What did they do to Zubin?
We don't know.
You tell me, AJ.
I go on that show. What do you mean? I was on the show last week.
Where is he?
He wasn't on there. Zubin wasn't on there. And what news did you break on there? That seems to be your fucking move and Ian Rappaport's move.
I didn't break anything. I mean, Jay Will and Keyshawn are on it, and I think it was just them too.
Yeah, it's Area 51, and then there's Zubin.
It used to be Zubin's show. And then something happened. The Z just left the
Now
entire
it's
show.
Max.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Max Kellerman got in there. Maybe that was the plan all along. Maybe that's why when it was going to happen, then COVID happened, and then it just kind of moved along. But Zubin was there for what, like a good week or two? He was doing it.
Yeah.
Hot week.
Zubin, we're going to need you to fall on the sword. I'm sorry. I'm guessing that's what someone said.
Hey, we're a big Zubin.
We just want a report. Where is he?
Gumpy wants a report.
You need proof of life or what?
Hey, I will say, Gumpy, every day for the last 6 months, at least one. Where's Zubin, pal?
Yeah.
Where is Zubin, pal? I'm like, I have no idea. And then when I went to Madison Square Garden last week, hey, if you see anybody, ask, where's Zubin?
Yeah.
Like, Gumpy has been infatuated with this because he did just kind of disappear out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Him and Sacho might be cooking something up. Watch out.
You think Sacho's heading to Fox, huh?
Yeah, I genuinely
He
do.
was on ESPN every show for like 3 weeks there.
Crushed. Yeah, and because of the fact that he's just disappeared, I assume it's because he's moving on.
Hour 3 is on the other side of this beautiful break. We have Johnny Hecker and Matt Gay joining us, the punter and the kicker for the Los Angeles Rams. That should be a good conversation, AJ. Any news you're going to break in the third hour that anybody should know about here?
I don't know. I'll let you know over the next 5 minutes if something comes up.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Maybe some, News Dump Friday in the third hour. We'll see you in 6 minutes. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Cheers. Every Tuesday this football season, joining us, Aaron Rodgers. Every Tuesday. With That doesn't get you going for a game? Are you kidding me?
No, but I have a funny Creed story. So, in 2007, we're playing the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday night. We're both 10-1. I have long hair, and I'm a backup. And before the game, we walked down the field, and I don't know if it was on purpose, but our intro song was Creed with Arms Wide Open. I looked to my buddy Nate Weir, and we both said, this is going to be a good night. And that was the night I came in off the bench and changed the narrative about me from, possible draft bust to, hey, this guy might be able to play, maybe.
Thank you, Creed.
Yeah! Why am I having so much fun?
Bingo.
I have just a new and increased love of life. And I've made decisions and changes and habits that put me in a lot better headspace. And there's just a lot of things that have come together in my life over the last few months. And it starts with love. And then surround yourself with people that you really enjoy. To get sentimental, this show is just another step in that.
What is the longest you've ever thrown? Do you even know that number or do you not care?
Yeah, somewhere between 68 and 70, Pat. I don't know, right in that sweet spot.
69 yards is how far you threw it. Nice, congrats.
I sometimes laugh when people talk about, down years for me, because a lot of times down years for me are career years for most quarterbacks.
That was awesome! You said in the interview that you would add an extra finger to your scotch drink or whatever.
It was a long night. We didn't get home. I didn't get home till like 11:40.
Look at how much scotch that is. Is that what you did?
It's not that much.
That's 4 fingers, dude. You said you normally do 3. That's 4 right there.
But you have those fat sausages.
Why is football the greatest sport on earth?
One main reason. It is a true team sport. The love is not just about our sport. It's about competition. I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. Yeah, they wouldn't show it because I play for the Packers, but I had a pretty sweet no-looker to Devontae on the last drive that kind of set up for a few plays.
I'm so thankful Patrick Mahomes brought that into the NFL.
I know.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Good for him.
Yeah, I know. It's just none of us been doing it for a while. A guy who probably doesn't get anywhere near the credit. We're doing shit like that all the time. He wears number 9 and plays in Detroit.
There's a massive water pipe out there with vitamins, and I've been going pretty ham at that. Maybe that is the problem.
Hey guys, it's a plant, bro.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. That's it. A couple people, one college kid, took a shot at my swag.
We know. We know. We don't like that kid.
Swag is just like the clothes I wear or whatever. No. The swag is a mentality. Swag is a mindset. Swagger isn't that you have a Supreme backpack on. True swag is owning your inner essence. It's a mindset. A lot of you guys are just posers. I am very thankful for you guys, for this show, for the opportunity to have this Tuesday. I'm not going to say that it's the reason why we've played so well and I've had a good season, but I can definitely say that it's been a positive contributor the entire year, and I do have a lot of thanks and gratitude for that.
Aaron, thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
No. Don't you thank us. Thank you, Aaron. Okay, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate you on here. I feel like I've learned so much about not only you, but life and football. Do you have any hilarious interactions with fans? Anybody ever say something just absolutely despicable to you?
There's been a bunch over the years. I think the rowdiest and the biggest trash talkers and the funniest trash talkers are in Philly.
Oh, yeah, me too.
You know, one of my idols growing up was Alex Trebek. They're doing some guest hosting spots, and it's going to be released here pretty soon, but I have the opportunity to do one of those.
Let's go! I am so thankful you joined us, man. The mustache looks incredible, and the fact you're wearing that shirt, I am eternally grateful for, pal.
Well, yeah, we might as well drop some bombs on this show. You know? There's no scrubs out there.
Have you watched the film on the game yet? Will you watch the film?
Yeah, I think like 4:20 on Saturday, probably p.m. Central Time.
Were you at all surprised to see the wild speculation out there after your post-game comments?
I don't feel like I said anything that I hadn't said before. It was more a realization, I think. Ultimately, my future is not necessarily in my control. Now, obviously, after the season that I had and, potentially winning MVP, we obviously made it another good run. I don't think that there's any reason why I wouldn't be back. I don't think people are used to hearing the truth from athletes. So when they hear the truth, it's so surprising at times. That's why this show, I think, has been so different. There's times where you let your mind go to maybe, I'm going to be a Packer for life. I'm going to be like a Tim Duncan or a Jeter or a Kobe and play with one team my entire career. I think naturally you dream about that.
I think I've realized this year with the conversations, you do seem to be a rather normal human.
And you guys know, we've talked about this off air, but there wasn't like some agenda doing this. It was like, fucking talk to Pat and AJ every week? Yeah, sounds pretty awesome. But what it's allowed me to do is, I think, silence all the douchebags out there who were, talking for me.
You know what? I'll say it. What? Aaron Rodgers Tuesday is happening.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 3 on this Feel Good Friday, September 17th, 2021 with AJ Hawk and the boys will begin. All right. Now, shout out to Twine for that beat drop. I can't wait to, chit-chat for about another 28 minutes and I'll hop on a plane, fly down to Knoxville, Tennessee, down in Peyton Manning's time.
Oh, yeah.
Then I'll get a chance to go call SmackDown tonight as the boys wrap up this beautiful Feel Good Friday. We got Johnny Hecker and Matt Gay joining us. AJ Hawk joining us from Brooklyn, New York. AJ, what is the news you are breaking in this hour, pal?
I don't have anything right now. Maybe when you head out to catch your plane, I might have something there. I might get to confirm some of my sources.
Oh, yeah. Last week you decided to give away $10,000 of our money or something like that.
That was messed up.
Yeah. Diggs has picked all the winners for that, by the way. You should probably hear about that probably today. Yep. You'll hear today the winners.
Right after the show.
Congrats to them. We've also, I think we've picked out all the winners for everything. We have another giveaway happening in the next Foxy Flick, which will debut at 3:15.
Yep. Here we go.
Good giveaway.
Oh, yeah.
It is a good giveaway, AJ. We're giving away some good stuff.
We learned about it during the vlog or what?
Yeah, you got to stay to the end of the vlog.
Yep.
Okay. I cut you off. What were you saying?
Well, I was trying to figure out whether or not I want to do this right now or I want to wait. So what you were saying wasn't really anything. It was kind of my brain operating the way it was because I'm going to be completely honest. This company right here is taking too much of my fucking money. All right? And this company right here, although they are an incredible partner and they are an incredible sports book and the app is amazing, I have started out very cold here. Now, last night I won 2-2, and obviously there's a couple question marks revolving around whether Heineke knows that he can still run or not. Has this guy gone on ayahuasca and somehow somebody told him in his brain that he cannot run anymore? Looked like as soon as he was about to break free, literally the field would tackle him. So that obviously affected us last night. And Logan Thomas Thomas somehow being invisible to Taylor Heineke also affected us. There was a penalty. I mean, so I went 2-2 last night, so it wasn't a complete, loss. But the parlay that was refunded to everybody that took it did not hit as I thought it was going to. I thought everybody was going to make $116. I thought this past weekend, especially with some of the games that we had picked, I thought everybody was going to make hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars from FanDuel off the free bet they were giving to everybody to start off this NFL season. And instead, all I did was lose. I woke up on Monday at $0.0 in my fucking account. I mean, it's been a long day. That means I got to do one thing and one thing alone, AJ. And I don't know if you want to ride this horse with me or not. Do you want to go? Do you want to do this?
Yeah, I'm in.
All right, me and AJ are going to pick every single game. The only way to reverse this thing that is happening right now is we have to pick every single game.
Hell yeah.
And that's what I'm going to do. And I understand that my record, which I know is on the 5 pillars of life for Anthony DeGilio, who at Tone digs T's and P's for his close contact situation he's in right now. He said his life revolves around faith. How you doing, Jesus Christ? Family, football, his job, and then his betting record. I am putting my betting record into quite a predicament where I'm going to pick every single game, but I got to do something to get back on the right side of things, AJ. And now is the time to do it.
Okay, you start off then.
All right, we're going to have to zoom in because there's no way I can read that from here. Raiders plus 6.5. Steelers minus 6.5. Mike Tomlin was on the show yesterday. Pittsburgh Steelers minus 6.5. Yinzers are in the stadium for the first time in a long time. That's going to be a tough place to play, AJ Hawk.
Hell yeah. Okay, Steelers win, but they don't cover.
Wow.
All right. Bengals Bears. Bengals are getting 2.5 points going into Chicago. Pete Schrager just cut a promo against the Bears. I'm going with Joey Burrow in the Cincinnati Bengals. No. That means I'm betting on Zach Taylor, which I don't necessarily love, but you're also betting against Matt Nagy, who I think a lot of people, I'm a fan, but a lot of people potentially don't necessarily love. I like the Bengals, especially with Evan McPherson.
Eddie Goldman's back, though, by the way.
Who?
Eddie Goldman.
Eddie Goldman's back. David Montgomery might be disrespected because the NFL left him off the top 5 rushers, even though he is in the top 5 rushing yards.
That D-line will be back.
Listen, I don't like any of my picks, okay? So
I'm not trying to change your mind.
No, you kind of are, though.
No.
What are you going Bears or Bengals?
Bengals win and cover.
Okay. Wow. Oh, boy. Both of us against the Bears. I don't necessarily love that. Texans, Browns. Texans are getting 13, maybe 13.5, depending upon where and when we're getting this. That is a big deal. It's in Cleveland. I love the Cleveland Browns. I think I've been the biggest fan of the Cleveland Browns. I got Tyrod Taylor and the Texans getting 13.5. That's where I put the bet. If it's at 13, I like it as well. 13. That's a lot of points, AJ Hawk.
That is a lot of points, yeah. Like, I'm with you. Browns win, but I don't think they cover 13.
Okay, just because everything we know about the NFL, there's a chance that the Texans make the Browns have to do a game-winning drive. Let's assume they will, or maybe not. Coach Dave, Tyrod Taylor and the boys down there flew around against Urban Meyer, almost made his ass go back to college after 1 week in the NFL. Rams, Colts, I'm not picking this one. Why is that? Home team. Well, listen, my heart's involved in it. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Hard Knocks is coming to town. I mean, there's just no reason for me to do this. I am scared to death about this one, though. And if I was to lean towards one, I'm not even going to say it.
No. I'll pick for you. I'll pick for you. I'm guessing I could channel what you were going to pick. Rams win, and they definitely cover.
I wasn't necessarily going to do that. Jeez. I wasn't necessarily going to say that, but I'm happy you said that, not me. Bills, Dolphins. Dolphins at home, plus 3.5 against a Bills team that did not look necessarily fantastic last week, and are going down into Miami. It's going to be 7,000 degrees down there.
Yeah.
3.5 points is a lot. I like the Dolphins plus 3.5 personally.
I do not. I like the Bills to win and to cover 3.5.
All right.
Bounce back game. Bounce back for Josh Allen.
Patriots and Jets. Jets getting 5.5 at home against the New England Patriots. I'm hammering the Patriots in this one. Patriots, Bill Belichick taking on a rookie quarterback. That record is damning, I believe, for rookie quarterbacks against Bill Belichick. Also, Mac Jones, it came out that he was winking at another player on the other team last week, and that's because the Dolphins player told him what the play was going to be, and it was just a little gamesmanship. I like that he's that comfortable, that relaxed. Allegedly, he got back in the film room immediately after the game, got his ass beat, seemed to earn his stripes and be loved in the locker room. I like the Patriots, even though I'm a big Jets guy. People know I'm a big Jets guy. I was on their side. They just signed Thomas Morstead to be their punter. I love that guy. But I feel like this is a Patriots game. Your idea, AJ?
I am exactly with you. Patriots win for sure.
Okay,
and cover.
Okay, Niners, Eagles. Niners have to travel across the country to Nick Sirianni and the Eagles. Niners are favored by 3. Sirianni, can I hear from you on how your team potentially feels against the San Francisco 49ers?
Yeah, you heard what I said earlier this week. When we run out of that tunnel at the link, and it is full, it is packed, and Rocky is up on the Jumbotron, and Adrian says, win. We're going to beat the piss out of them. Yeah, and you know what? To shake things up and get things, a little bit out, compete a little bit, I might go fucking smack Shanahan in the mouth.
All right. Okay. All right. Sirianni might smack Kyle Shanahan in the mouth. I like the Eagles at home getting points.
Oh, I do not. I think they get beat here.
Okay, I think I am on your side as well. Give me the Niners. Just because there might be a letdown game. Jason Kelce dyed his hair, obviously, because it was a bet with Zach Ertz. He was betting that Zach Ertz was going to be traded out of. You're going to be fucking gone, dude. They're going to trade your ass out of here. No, I'm going to stick around. I'm going to get a deal done. I'm going to be happy. He has to dye his hair. Said he loved losing his bet. We don't know anything about the Eagles. We have no idea. Beat the hell out of the Falcons. What are the Falcons? Did the Falcons lay an egg? We have no idea. I like the Niners team. I'm going to go with Niners -3, even though I like home +3. Niners can go in there and win. They got a game that travels, even though Raheem Mostert's out. Let's go to Saints-Panthers. Saints on the road in Carolina. They're going to have to stare down that fucking augmented reality Panther. Yeah. I mean, if they don't look at the screens in the stadium or at the Jumbotron, they will not know that there is a living, breathing, 30-yard Panther jumping all around. That is beautifully done. Beautifully done. Go back to that. What is it, 3.5?
Yeah.
I like the Saints -3.5 against the Panthers. Christian McCaffrey scored a touchdown, though. Also probably a pretty good prop bet. That guy seems to be unbelievable, but that Saints defense is no joke. Hey, that Saints defense is no joke. Your thoughts, AJ?
They're not. The Saints defense is legit, but I like the Panthers at +3.5.
Okay, all right. There's a lot of home dogs, by the way, which is something I don't necessarily love. 3.5 seems to be a lot of points, especially in an NFC South rivalry, but Jameis Winston's all the way back. He can see again. -5.5. The Broncos favored on the road in Jacksonville. Yet again, here we go. Broncos -5.5. Teddy Bridge, it's 6 now, I guess, so everybody's feeling the same way I am. I like the Broncos -6 in Jacksonville. Until Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence, and Schlegel and the boys down there can prove that they can win, I'm going to have to bet against them, especially when Von Miller's saying, hey, it hasn't felt this way since 18 been here with you, Teddy Bridgewater. I like the Broncos, AJ.
I do too. A big reason is because of Von Miller and that defense. But yeah, I like him here for sure.
Chubb's a stud as well. Don't let him fool you. Vikings at Cardinals. Cardinals favored by 3.5, I believe. I like the Cardinals. Now, I also like the Vikings. As a
They
team.
got some guys questionable too, don't they?
Yeah, I like the Cardinals. And I made a deal with myself last week. We will bet on the Cardinals until further notice. I did this last year. They lost me a bunch of money. Now I think it's a completely different attitude down there. Cliff Kingsbury seems to be a little bit more fiery, as does Kyler. Just won the MVP. Okay, can't have a letdown after winning the MVP.
No way.
All right, so I like the Cardinals at home. We are betting on them until further notice. Next game, Falcons and Bucks. Falcons are getting 12.5 in Tampa. Sheesh. Is that what that says?
Yep.
I like the Falcons plus 12.5 in Tampa against the Bucks. Bucks will win, probably by double digits. 12.5 seems like a lot, though.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot, isn't it, AJ?
Yeah, I'm with you exactly on that one.
And the Bucks, the Bucks have not. This could be me judging.
They may win by 21, but it could very well be close too.
It could very well.
Nice.
They could win by 40, could lose. You know what I mean? It's football. Any given Sunday. That was an awesome moment for us. I'm happy we're here. I like the Falcons plus 12.5, even though the Bucks will win that game, I believe. Cowboys, Chargers -3.5 at home against the Cowboys. Ooh, AJ, what are your thoughts?
Cowboys plus 3.5 here for me.
Oh, Joey Bosa canceled on us, didn't he?
Yeah.
Cowboys plus 3.5.
And your heart's not in it, and your emotions aren't in this one?
Well, there's a reason. Things happen. The universe, the alchemist, okay, the universe is telling me some things there. I like the Cowboys plus 3.5. Let's go to the next one. Titans, Seahawks. I'm betting on the Seahawks until further notice, even though the Titans getting 6.5 points on the road after what they did last week. Vrabes ain't going to fuck with that. Vrabes is not. That team's going to look much better. 6.5 is a lot of points, too.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, my. The 12s are going to be live.
It's going to be live.
I said I'm betting on Russell Wilson until further notice after Monday Night Manning with Russell Wilson and seeing what he did for the Colts. 6.5 is a lot of points. AJ, your thoughts?
Titans plus 6.5 for me.
All right. I said I'm betting on Russell. I'm betting on -6.5, -6.5 Seattle Seahawks. Let's go next. Chiefs, Ravens. I like the Chiefs, even though it's in Baltimore. Baltimore, it's only 3.5 spread, and that's strictly because Lamar Jackson can do everything by himself if he has to. He's proven that. He can shake 10 people. I think this is a different animal, though. The Chiefs, hopefully this time, for the first time in a long time, when I'm betting on them, will actually put the goddamn throttle Dahn. They'll take out the hammer. They'll go hammer Dahn. They'll take out a shillelagh from an Irishman's hand, and they'll go shillelagh Dahn. They will shellac the Ravens, I think, and it's not because the Ravens are bad. I like the Ravens a lot. They just got a lot of injuries in some key spots, and I think the Chiefs will actually take advantage of that this weekend. Your thoughts, AJ?
Yeah, Chiefs. Chiefs, what? -3.5, like I said before. No doubt.
3.5. Yeah, 3.5. And I'll tell you what, if the Chiefs can score 3.6 points, that's all they need.
That's right.
That's all they need. If they can go 3 and 3/5, you know what I mean? They can score that whole thing, and let's go ahead and continue to wrap this one up. And then the Lions and the Packers on Monday Night Football. Packers win by 50.
Okay.
All right, that was fun. Your thoughts, AJ?
I'm with you. I agree. So yeah, we would do different on some games, so it'll be fun to see how the results play out.
Okay, so if all those hit, the parlay that Zito just put together, $10 to win $78,000.
Here we go.
All right, let's go.
All right, so this is how you turn around a gambling record.
That's right.
Okay? This is how you might have taken it on the shins week 1 and the beginning of week 2 from your friends at FanDuel. And FanDuel might be feeling good about themselves. Chest up. I think you got to make a call, Zito. Chest up, chest high. They might be feeling good waltzing around little FanDuel Sportsbook headquarters. Ha, ha, ha. We took all that sons of bitches money in his entire community. Well, guess what? When I hit this 10 for 78 grand on you, I would like everybody to be put on notice over there that that's going to be the rest of the season, FanDuel. I'm doing that for the rest of the games that happen in this NFL regular season and playoffs. This is the start of something beautiful, AJ Hawk, you and me.
Has anyone ever hit these like full slate parlay like that?
Last week someone hit all 16, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Guess what? This week they did too.
Can you put $100 on that?
Oh, yeah. You can put 1,000 on it, AJ.
You should. 7.8
Hey, if you won
million.
that, could you just get him to? Can you cash out right away? Like, hey, give me that check right now. They just send you a check.
Well, I mean, there's some other checks that are potentially being negotiated from them as well. So, but you know, if you walk into a cash game and you win all the money, and you just walk out of there, there is a chance that they're pissed off at you. But guess what? If it's at the casino has more money. Somebody will bring you guys more chips. I'm getting out of here. You know what I mean? Right. That is, sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to take a little victory lap, especially if you win. Joining us now, speaking of victory lap, 2 guys that are going to be pivotal parts of the Los Angeles Rams potentially taking another victory lap. On Sunday Night Football, these 2 men absolutely performed at peak performance. And they're 2 guys that I'm a big fan of. Punter and all-decade punter voted on by one particular.
That's right.
Okay.
One outlet.
One particular. The NFL. Okay, the NFL voted for this. And incredible kicker, ladies and gentlemen, from the Los Angeles Rams, Johnny Hecker and Matt Gay. Yeah! What's up, boys?
What's up, Pat? Hey, Pat. Honored to be here. AJ, also, you're here, too. Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Oh, geez, you two. So it seems like you two really get along, huh? This has become a good specialist unit in a pretty quick little time here. You guys are dominant right now. Looks like the Rams team's all the way back. New kicker for you, Johnny. Matt Gay comes in. There's been a little bit of turnover. How's the crew? It seems like you guys are on the same exact page, huh?
We're having fun every day. You know, special teams unit's got to be tight. We have fun. Coming to work every day is a joy, and this guy works hard and is super good at what he does, so it makes my job that much easier. And, offense rolling. I'm not seeing the field too much, so I'm really enjoying it this far.
Hey, that's fantastic. Matt Gay, your confidence, as soon as you went into L.A., I believe Sean McVay even complimented, like, hey, we got a guy, it feels like. How nice is it to know that you're on a team that's incredible? It seems like a team that's behind you, and you got an all-pro that's your punter. It has to feel like you've landed in a pretty dream destination, huh?
Oh, it couldn't be better. I mean, from the week I came in, no better guy to work with than this guy. I mean, made me feel right at home. Did everything he could in my power to make me feel comfortable. Like you said, he's all decade, he's all pro. Wow. No one better. And it does a lot for a kicker to know that your coach, your team are behind you. They're confident in you. They believe in you. And so that means everything going out there on the field on Sundays with the belief of your team. So, I couldn't be in a better spot.
You guys are going to score a lot of points. I mean, you guys are going to score a lot of points, it feels like, with McVay and Matthew Stafford coming in there. And Hecker, I want to talk to you real quick about what happened last year. What happened last year? You didn't have your best year. I mean, honestly, what happened? Were you injured a little bit last year? Or did you hit a little bit of a funk? Because normally you are the greatest guy to ever, literally. I think you would even agree with this, right? Last year wasn't your best year. What happened? How did you get out of that? And how did you come back on the other side of that thing?
Yeah, last year was just one of those years where I was doing a lot of thinking about other stuff outside of just catch the ball and hit it over there is stupid. It was a deal where it was, a lot of stuff kind of out of my control and then other stuff in my control that I needed to do better. So just one of those years where, mentally I was kind of all over the place thinking about stuff I shouldn't have been thinking about, worrying about, okay, here's the protection, here's the guys we got doing stuff. And, a new special teams coach, feeling really good about that and just staying positive and working a lot on mental game stuff and feel primed for a great bounce back year.
It's great to see you back, by the way, man. Fucking great. You are a stallion. It is awesome to see you all the way back. Go ahead, AJ.
So I have a two-part question. First, Johnny, why do colleges do that stupid rugby punt formation where they sit here and meander and then blast a little line driver? And for you, Matt, are we ever going to see anybody toe bash the ball again as a kicker?
First, you might have to repeat the second part of the question.
I didn't get the second part of that question.
The second part was a dumb question, Matt. He just asked if anybody's ever going to toe bash a field goal again. So, I mean, you got to remember, this guy is a actual barbarian, a baboon. All right, so you got to remember that and that whole thing. But the rollout punt, I think it's because the rules, right, Johnny? You have the same.
Because they can take off.
You have the same view on that, Johnny?
We got some
NFL
over here. I'm really
we'll call
sorry.
that. Yeah, AJ, isn't it crazy? As soon as you start talking, their connection goes out.
Yeah, interesting.
I'll tell you, someone's out to get me.
AJ,
we know who.
The toe bash isn't going to happen. Well, whoever your cookies probably are in your internet website search. But the toe bash.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just. A toe bash, leg speed. Okay, so leg speed is what generates force, which is what moves the ball. Let's say the toe bash has the max speed, and we'll just put it in cars, of a, let's say a Camry.
Sure.
Okay, let's say a Camry. That's max
Great
speed.
vehicle. Great, consistent vehicle.
Dependable. Hey, just like the toe bash. Probably be good for anything inside 30 yards. That thing, I don't know if it's going to be able to get up fast enough, especially with the athletes we got now. But then whenever you talk about a soccer-style kicker, the leg speed, that's about, that's Lambo. That's Ferrari.
Okay.
That's flying around. Toe bash is dead and gone, but there is teams that still need it in high school because it is consistent inside 30 yards. You just got to line that thing up to it straight. Never again in the NFL. We'll never see a barefoot guy either. Okay, AJ? So just get with the times.
Okay.
It's 2021, dude.
Okay, it was a great question then because I just learned something from you. I never thought about the whole leg speed debate when it comes to toe bashing versus the soccer style.
You're right. I mean, I apologize. You make our show better. I am sorry for being upset about you. I just thought that was pretty common knowledge. And what are we even doing? Why are we still asking this question? Because it's been 70 years since somebody in the NFL has done the straight-on toe bash. Is their connection still bad? Oh, man. I thought
They're at the facility, too.
They just built a $60 billion stadium.
What are we?
How's the internet not good in there?
Run the fiber, dude.
Come on.
Jeez.
Run the fiber, Stan. He's back, though. It's great to see Johnny Hecker back. Last year, I was watching a game. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
What was he thinking about? I didn't want to cut him off, but what do you think? What else was he worried about? You think an angle of draw, just all the little things you can't worry about?
Yeah. It's just like what happens whenever you potentially drop a snap. When you drop a snap, you start thinking about everything else. Like, okay, I'm going to catch this. I got to do this. As opposed to just going out there and doing it like you've done 100 times. Like, you can get in your own head a little bit, just like kickers can. And seeing Johnny all the way back is fucking great news. Speaking of all the way back, here is Johnny and Matthew Gay here, kicker and punt. Hey, great to see you guys. Hey, Gay, I answered the toe bash question, Matt, so you didn't have to do it. I had to enlighten him that the leg speed's a little bit slower. Yeah. Johnny, though, the college rugby punt thing, did you do that in college, or were you standard NFL pro-style punt when you were there?
I did a mix of both. I was real boomer bust with the rollout stuff. I had a negative 4-yarder, a couple deep bombs. But, that's just playing into the college rules, AJ. You as soon as the ball snapped, every single person can release downfield. That's why you get the 3 elephants back there, kind of a moving shield for the punter. But in the NFL, you can't do that. It's just the 2 outside guys on the line of scrimmage. So or two outside guys in the formation. They don't necessarily have to be on the line of scrimmage. Pardon me there.
Hey, by the way, smart because, here are formations where off the ball. You guys used to run people in motion, too. I mean, you guys have gotten very creative in that entire game. Matt Gay, what have you seen from Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay and the team as a whole? I mean, Jalen Ramsey might be... I don't know how he seemed like he was everywhere. And then Aaron Donald, the intensity's there. What have you seen from the team and behind the scenes that makes you guys think like, hey, we're going to be able to go on a run this year? This might be something special here.
Yeah, first and foremost, the relationship between Stafford and McVay is a special one. The bond they have right off the bat is insane. They're on the same page with everything. They really go back and forth between Stafford's ideas, McVay's ideas. That McVay's dialing things up specifically for Stafford's skill set, which is pretty much everything, honestly. The dude can do everything. He's so underrated athletically. And then defensively, Jalen Ramsey might be the best tackler in the NFL. It's insane how fast he closes and gives up 0 yards after contact. He's everywhere. And then he's just playing off arguably the greatest defensive player to ever play the game in Aaron Donald. When teams are worried about those two guys, it lets everybody else play off them and be successful. So, that's just a recipe for success for the Los Angeles Rams as a whole.
No offense,
AJ.
No offense, AJ. Yeah, sorry.
No, not taking.
Yeah. Go ahead, AJ.
Oh, was it me? Yeah, it was coming to me. Okay, Pat sits here and he always fights for you guys, which is great. I think it's awesome. Do you ever talk to other specialists around the league, whether you had an amazing play, like you trained a game winner, you pinned them, or a terrible play, and you thought like, oh no, that idiot in the tank top's going to put this online and say something about me?
Whoa.
Jeez.
Does that ever happen?
Specifically, I think it's happened to me.
Yeah?
I think my rookie year, I missed a game winner. I think Pat talked about it. It's all good. We all go through the ups and downs. It's all good. You learn a lot, But yeah,
Did he attack you personally? He attacked your character?
Hey, what's your deal, AJ? What is your deal?
I think it was more situational. I was a rookie, and you do talk to other guys how you bounce back in those situations, how you handle those situations. And I've learned a lot from this guy. He's done it at the highest level for a decade now. So you learn a lot mentality-wise from other guys and other veterans. And I think as soon as you think that there's no room to learn or no room to grow, that's when things go wrong. You're always got to be learning and always improving. And so, yeah, I'm always asking other guys, their game plans. So,
John,
also,
yeah, go.
If you have a good game, every specialist is running to their phone to see what Pat McAfee had to say about their spectacle. That's just a fact of the league.
Go-to guy.
Yeah,
but then you're pissed, though. But then you got to be pissed if he left you out, like if he missed something of yours.
Yeah, but there's always next week. Go do something better. If it catches Pat's eye.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I want to let you know, I feel a duty, by the way. And it's almost become like I feel bad. When I'm watching, I'm just trying to see, all right, does anybody do anything? And then it gets to the point that was pretty good. It gets to an entire thing there, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Morstead texted me, I think, maybe last year, because he was going through a rough year as well. You and Morstead were both kind of going through a rough year. I think he had some similar stuff going on, thinking and everything like that, and happy to see him out of it. He just signed with the Jets. But he hit a big ball, and he said, he texted me immediately after, he said, as that ball was flying, I literally thought to myself, Pat McAfee better have fucking seen that or whatever. And I'm like, I appreciate that. That means a lot. I appreciate you so much. Hey, 42, and we don't give enough love to the long snappers. Is that what you're saying right now?
Absolutely. Matt Orzech, he's the man. We love him. Got to shout out, represent. I was worried with the front-facing camera if it was going to look like 24 or something crazy like that, but 42 is coming through. Matt Orzech, we love you, baby. Appreciate it. Piece of the puzzle.
Bradley Pinion said that their snapper's the best snapper in the league, and then he went on IR, I think, the next day or whatever, because now there's a Pro Bowl vote. Nobody knows. I've said this publicly. Unless I was to watch every single snap from the long snapper all year long, then you could guess who is the best long snapper. That's a tough thing to judge. Your guy, you think deserves, hey, let's get a couple votes for this guy in the Pro Bowl here now that we can vote for the long snapper?
Absolutely. He should be the number one fan vote getter. He's handsome, has great hair, huge biceps, throws absolute darts.
Pythons for arms.
Yeah.
Big, huh?
Big dude.
Pythons,
He's piped up.
He's piped
also,
up. So.
Pat, I cannot get off the show without mentioning this guy, maybe a game-saving play for us on the opening kickoff. They busted a nice return. This guy hit 20 miles an hour chasing him down.
No! Did they have you on the? They had you on the.
They tracked me. Confirmed.
Let's go, dude! Hey, that's speeding in some school zones,
I might be
man.
the fastest specialist in the league.
I mean, yeah, now that I'm out, for sure. I mean, maybe they're, you know what I mean? Maybe that is the case.
Right now, it's specific. Yeah. Not when you were playing.
No, I don't think I've ever touched 20 miles. I don't think I ever cracked 20 miles per hour. What a legend. What a hero. We appreciate you, brother, doing that.
Hey, man, I took a little turf burn for it, but we're all right.
Yeah, let's not make it a routine, obviously. Ladies and gentlemen, these these specialists from the Los Angeles Rams, the one particular vote, the NFL's all-decade punter, Johnny Hecker, and stud, freak athlete, 20-mile-an-hour sprinter, Matthew Gay. We appreciate you guys. See you, boys. Hey, it's a good crew. You see the energy in there? I feel like they are a bounce-around meeting in the locker room energy crew. You know what I mean? You need that in there.
The long snapper jersey, you know.
Yeah, they love each
over.
other. Yeah. I don't know how anybody's going to vote for who the best long snapper is. That happened last year, and I had a couple people
really vote. Like, does media and players and coaches all vote for that? Everyone votes for their team, whoever they're a fan of.
Well, you're not allowed to. Like, so the teams,
the players,
players and coaches aren't allowed to vote for anybody on your team. And back in the day, what the Pro Bowl used to be was literally whoever was coaching in the Pro Bowl would normally either pick the long snapper to come, or it would just be their guy that would come. So it was like, this guy's Pro Bowl long snapper, but it wasn't really ever like something that was fully put into the full process of everything else. Because back in the day, you know, when Marina and Finkel were out there, it was defensive end, tight end, linebacker snapping. Now it is a full-time profession. It is a specialty position. It is something that people are making a lot of money doing, and there is very little room for error in that entire thing. And you'll be out. Somebody else will come in. I mean, that's just the way it is. But it is impossible to judge who the best long snapper is unless you literally watch every single field goal snap to see where the laces are, where the location is, how the protection is, and then every single punt, where the location is, how the blocking was, and how the coverage was. There's no way anybody will be able to know, but shout out to the snappers getting recognized like everybody else.
Well, I think the only people that probably should vote for it are the special teams coaches and then the other long snappers in the league. They're the ones that know.
Yeah, they're the only ones that they judge each other. Yeah. You know, because they're watching film. What this son of a bitch did?
Yeah.
Oh, threw one high. See that at the head? That was at the head there. That was at the head there. Because that is, like, people just see a punter catch a snap and then the punt gets off. And it's like, oh, good thing. It's like, no, that was a bad snap, actually. Like, if we're judging this by snaps, like, there's a strike zone, basically, that they're trying to hit. And if it's missing, that could affect literally the rhythm of everything. And it's like, who has time to watch every snapper's snap, every snap that they snapped all year?
No one.
Laces and field goals, too.
Hey, that was pretty good, by the way. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck as much as he would because he's a woodchuck chucker. We're out of here. I got to go to SmackDown. All right, you guys take this thing.
Where is it? Are they playing at the like their Tennessee basketball arena?
I have no idea. I think so. Literally,
what else is in Knoxville?
Yeah, I think that has to be it, right? Has to be their basketball arena.
Is Peyton showing up?
I don't think so. He's got something going on this weekend in Lucas Oil. I think he's got
that's right, him and Edge,
the Hall of Fame ring ceremony. And I wonder what the vehicle is going to be that Edge is going to get from Jim Irsay, by the way.
Gonna be nice.
Hey, Edge gets a car from me, and there'll be something sweet in the glove box. Any car he wants. And then you got Detroit up there like, can't pay him. Get him out of here.
Do it.
Can't pay him. Get it out of here. Robert Mathis had a quote about the Colts Hard Knocks situation. He responded to my tweet. He said, bro, with all the characters we had on that 2013 team, we could have won an Emmy, ESPY, Oscar, whatever the hell we could win. Whatever that thing is up for, probably would have happened. There were some locker rooms that we had in there where it was characters. And by the way, we were winning, and that's whenever everybody's at their best. And it was a beautiful thing. I assume this locker room is just the same. I can't wait to see what Hard Knocks does with it. Right, AJ?
Yeah, it's gonna. Do we know what days it'll air? Or what, like, once a week?
Tuesday, let's assume, and then November 17th all the way through the rest of the season.
And Liev Schreiber, right? As long as Liev Schreiber's there, it has.
He'll be there.
Has that good feel.
He'll be there with his voice always. I will say there are some social media departments who have been staring down HBO and say, "Hey, we're on your ass, though."
Yeah,
we are making some really good stuff. I can't wait to watch it. I'm out of here. The boys will take us home. Also at 3:15, a new vlog will debut that will give away 5 pairs of great tickets here.
Wow.
At the end, you just got to pay attention to the end. Get out to a game, go live a little bit. It's been awesome seeing everybody on TV, enjoying life, and getting out and about again. I haven't heard much about the fallback from all this, but I assume it's absolutely devastating and terrible. But while we can continue to do it, let's go ahead and do it. We can't thank you enough. Have the greatest weekend of your life. I'll be back on Overreaction Monday. The boys will take you home. Chris Mad Dog Russo and Mad Dog Unleashed will be on after this show. His show will be a lot better than ours, I promise you. Cheers, see ya. I gotta hop on a plane and fly to New Jersey.
Big time, no man now. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, it's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me.
Thank you all so much. Without you, none of this is possible. From all of us! That was a little lame reaction. We appreciate the fun. I just saw a picture of you getting out of, I think, a 757 that was from Jim Irsay. What was that, and have you ever been in that plane before?
I thought it was like the team plane to fly all of the Indianapolis Colts. Literally, I mean, it's got the logo on it, Pat, and it was awesome. But look, that's just Jim. Pat, I had a wonderful 14 years there. It's obviously the team that I wanted to play for always. I understood the decision he had to make, and no hard feelings. And for him to send his plane to fly me and my son down here, it was a great gesture. A lot of room for me and Marshall. We were throwing the football. So, pretty cool experience. Pretty cool father-son weekend.
By the way, as he's moving from event to event right now, you are the best, dude. Where are you headed right now?
I'm going to the game. I got Lynch. I got Faneca. I got these guys in the background.
Boys, congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations, boys. All right, Peyton. Oh, hey, there he is. Marshall, I hope you enjoyed that plane, pal. Hey, Peyton, last thing here. You talking to Tom Brady, you becoming friends with him. It was interesting to watch. Oh, yeah, take the photo. Take the photo. All right, we will wrap this up.
Well, I'll tell you, Pat, I don't think anybody can do what Tom has done. Look, I know how hard it was for me to get on the same page with my receivers, learn a new system, learn new coaches. But I had a full off season. I was injured. I was rehabbing. The fact that Tom has done this in a COVID pandemic off season, no time to meet with his receivers. He met with his coaches illegally by breaking into Byron Leftwich's house. So besides that, it's been incredible what he's been able to accomplish, and he deserves all the credit. His leadership is what's put the Bucs in this game today, and I have great respect for him because I know how hard it is, but he deserves all the credit.
Hey, how did you know Red 18 was coming?
Pat, I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you telling that story and just growing the legend. That was about the 18th time I tried it. I was 17 going into that. And, you know, when it doesn't hit, you just keep walking and nobody ever really tells you about it. So when it hit, I was as surprised as you were. And the reaction from some of the good old folks there in the casino that night was pretty special.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. You made me and those folks in the casino a bunch of money. Congrats on the Hall of Fame nod. Thank you for spending time. Enjoy yourself at the game, Peyton.
Pat, thanks, pal. I appreciate you.
The Sheriff Hall of Famer, Peyton.
McAfee. Do not talk about
Pat McAfee.
One fight at a time, fellas.
Pat McAfee Show.
Today's sponsor is Public.com, an investing app where you can buy stocks, follow investors, and share ideas. Pat joined Public, and you can see his portfolio if you search for @PatMcAfee in the app. AJ, I believe you joined as well, didn't you?
I did not join. No, I'm waiting for them to sign me up.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, dude. Here's why Public is the best place to invest, though. You can follow other users' portfolios, including Pat, Shaq, Tony Hawk, potentially AJ, and thousands more. Whoa. The app is free, and you can start with as little as $1. You can buy slices or portions of stock versus full shares. And Public's never going to sell your data or your information to third parties or market makers like other investment apps do. You'll get a free slice of stock when you go to public.com/PatMcAfee to download the Public app. Get started today and make sure to follow Pat. This is not investment advice. No. Disclaimer is valid for U.S. residents only, 18 plus, subject to account approval. See public.com/disclosures, not investment advice. Once again, make sure you go to public.com/PatMcAfee to get a free stock slice.
Hell yeah.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. Pat is, he's gone. He just had to hop on a bird to get down to Knoxville for Friday night SmackDown. Boys are here. We'll take you home for the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get to phone calls, I'm pretty sure there's a couple people on the line. AJ, how are the Clemson Tigers doing? We haven't had a check-in with them in quite some time.
Oh, we're not. We start off the season 0-2 right now. We got a big game tomorrow, so hopefully we get a victory.
Who do you guys got tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I don't know. It's a team, like, it's not in our league. We're going to, I don't know. Honestly, it's a different, like, little town.
So you're not prepared
like 15
at all.
minutes away.
Oh, so you guys are going to get blown out.
I mean, hopefully not. We'll see, man. We'll see how it goes, but we're getting better. I definitely can see the process of getting better, but guess what? Coaching is tough. Coaching is not easy to do, and I cannot imagine what it's like coaching in college or the NFL, because when we lose, I understand. I'm like, man, we didn't give these kids a chance. Like, what are we doing? We don't have them prepared. Like, I felt like a coach after these games and, like, throughout the week trying to get better. So I understand why guys get hooked, but it would be very stressful to coach at, like, a super high level for sure.
Well, have you looked at yourself in the mirror and thought about, maybe I should give these kids a real speech before they go onto the field instead of just saying, hey, try your best, because I know that's what you're doing?
Well, I think they need probably less adults speaking to them. Like, the more you talk to kids, especially whenever we talk to them or we do anything in practice, they're like, when do we get to do tackling drills again? Like, all they want to do is tackle and hit each other, which is good, but we have to be able to line up and run some plays too and not put the ball on the ground.
You got a red ass at all? You feel in the hot seat a little bit? Or parents starting to say, like, hey, get this fucking slapdick out of here. I don't want him coaching my son.
Hey, they might. They'd have every right to if they want to. But you know what? We got to trust the process, right, Ty? It's not about, like, where we're going. It's about the day-to-day getting there, the grind that coaches seem to love. That's what we're in right now.
That's said. Bullshit.
Well said, Coach.
It's about winning. Go win a goddamn game.
I'm with you. Connor. Believe me, it sucks to lose, even being the head coach of assistant coach on an 8-year-old. Well, it's probably 8 to 10 is the range of kids playing. But it's not fun. Like, as a coach, when you can't control it, you're like, man, it can be frustrating for sure.
Speaking of that kind of stuff, AJ, I was curious, like, with all the stuff with Urban Meyer potentially going to USC now, like, in Columbus, when they get beat by Oregon like that, is there any talks of, like, stuff like that? Like, are people pissed, or is it pretty easy for the Ohio State fan base, like, around Columbus to just be like, oh, it's just one game. They're probably still going to go 11-1 and make it to the playoff?
I think people definitely hope that they're still going to go 11-1 and do everything, but they are worried because wasn't it a 14-point spread on this Oregon game?
Yeah.
And and Oregon came in and beat them and looked good doing it. So people don't freak out and say, "Oh, fire all the coaches," all of that. But the sky is falling. People seem to panic a little bit, so they need to make sure that they come out and get a fast start against Tulsa this week, because it's true. Like, if you're Ryan Day, if you're the head coach of one of these big time schools that have consistently won, you can't lose a game. Like, you lose one game and everyone's like, what's wrong? Like, what are you doing? You guys are terrible. Like, it's just it's a high pressure situation, but isn't that where they all want to be, I guess, in a position where they do hold you to those high standards?
Well, in college too, I feel like their season's over already. Like, it's hard to imagine them getting in the college football playoff. Like, if it's between them and, like, a Georgia and they both got a 1 loss, I feel like possibly Georgia will get the advantage there.
It depends who Georgia loses to, right?
Yeah, sure. But they already got the win over Clemson, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like they already have a massive win. If they hang in, and if they lose to, like, Bama in the last game of the season and they hang in the entire year and are perfect aside from that, it's going to be real hard for them to justify putting in Ohio State, because Ohio State, they're not playing anybody in the top 5 for the rest of the year at the moment, right?
Well, Iowa in the
If Michigan wins out, if Michigan continues to win, won't they be ranked pretty high?
Yeah, and also, to Ty's point, Iowa. But if they lose to Michigan, they're not even going to the Big Ten championship.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they lose to Michigan, believe me, that's when you do have some people pretty pissed off around here. If they would find a way to lose to Michigan for sure.
Yeah, don't you have that clock in your house that counts down the days till the Michigan
Beat
game?
Michigan, yeah.
I do not. I believe they have them all over the facility, though, especially in the weight room. They have the countdown clock to Michigan. I don't have any in my house. General Bob might have one or two.
Well, General Bob's also throwing his 8-year-old, 9-year-old teams through the ringer, and that's why they're 8-0 right now.
That's a good point.
General Bob coaches in the other little league around me. He's an assistant as well. He's in the age bracket above the one I am in. So we'll also, Sunday I have a flag football game for my 4 and 5-year-olds where they don't even know. My whole team doesn't know it's football. So we'll see how it goes. That'll be fun.
Well, you better get them right, Coach. Fuck. I mean, no one cares. Yeah, no one cares.
You're right. I'm sick of losing. You're right. There's no excuse. It's on me. I agree. I'm the head coach of that team, so we'll see how that goes.
All right, AJ, you want to go out to the 5-hour energy phone lines?
Yes, please do.
All right, sounds good. I don't know who's running the phones back there, but if you could just find someone
Nick's
and
running
put them
right
on, please. Okay, perfect. Go to 5hourenergy.com and use promo code McAfee to receive 10% off your order. Got 15 new flavors to choose from. While supplies last year, 10% off through the end of September, get on it.
All right, we're going to go to Big Fan Bob.
Big
Hey,
Bob.
what's going on, boys? Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Feel Good Friday,
boys.
Big Fan Bob.
Hey, new football season going on. I need a new jersey. Just want your opinions on your guys' favorite teams and least favorite teams jerseys. And with all these young stars and young new jersey numbers, is there a must-get jersey? Or should I just go old classic Reebok number 50 Green Bay Packers jersey?
Bingo.
Took the words right out of my mouth. If
Bingo,
you're not
my
going
friend.
50 Packers, then you're going 42 Cowboys, Bobby Carpenter.
Yeah.
One of the two.
He was 54 Cowboys.
You're going 54 old school Bobby Carpenter. Okay? Don't get a new jersey, although I do love him, and if I had to say, I'd get a Mac Jones jersey because he's going to be in the league for the next 20 years. Duh.
What do you think, AJ? Like when your kids come up to you and they say like, "Hey, Dad, it's time for a new jersey." Who are they asking for?
I see. So we've gone to high school games around here. Little kids, a lot of them Odell Beckham jerseys, Baker Mayfield. People are Cleveland fans, especially now that they're winning. DeAndre Hopkins, a lot of those for some reason too. JJ, TJ Watt, they're big hit around here too.
Is it weird for you to buy jerseys?
Like for my kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, I haven't really gotten them jerseys. They have a few. Like my son, my 8-year-old has a couple jerseys he got as gifts, but most of their friends have like 10, 15 jerseys.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I thought when your kids ask jerseys, you say, "Shut up! You're only wearing an AJ Hawk jersey, and that's all you're ever going to get."
No, they have. My son, my 8-year-old came to last night to my daughter had basketball tryouts. He wore a full Steph Curry uniform, like the full thing.
Oh,
I didn't know he had all of it. He looked good. It was nice.
That's pretty sweet.
I assume Steph Curry jerseys are going right now.
Oh yeah, big time. Big time. We got anybody else on the phone lines, Nick?
Yeah, let's go to Danny in Iowa.
Daniel, what's up?
Hey, boys. Thanks for taking my call again. I'm an idiot who wants to be a replay official. Same guy. As predicted, we're seeing the same problems with replays. They have the tech, and, hey, I'm from Iowa. I would hope the Hawkeye system would help out.
Fucking
but
go
it
Hawks,
isn't.
baby.
Yeah, you know it. Number 5. Let's go. So 2 calls quick to point out. Vikings Bengals.
Yeah.
They were in OT, and it took them 5 full minutes to have a simple fumble call against Dalvin Cook, so no speed there. And
What's
of
the
course,
hold up there,
everybody saw the
sir?
call.
What's the problem?
I think it's just a lack of the ability. It's who they're getting. It's the talent of the people. So they pull from on-field officials, and it's just a different talent set. There's a difference between calling things on the field and doing replay analysis. I could do replay analysis, but don't put me on the field. That'd be an animal out there. It'd be awful.
So
Good to know.
Yeah, more like specific roles for these
But
referees.
are they just is it like technical difficulties where there's too many people involved trying to like go back and forth on the line to say what the call's going to be?
I would guess that's part of it. Like, I feel like this really isn't that complicated, but with how big the NFL is, I'm sure there's like 10 people that are kind of tasked with everything, so I'm sure it is kind of hectic. Hopefully, as the season goes on, they'll get in more of a groove and like get this kind of figured out, but shit, it doesn't seem like it should be that hard.
Or just stop showing replays on TV where everyone who's watching can say, like, oh, okay, like yesterday with the McKissick thing. McKissick falls, trips, and clearly gets the first down. Everyone sees it. But then they go and they just make it 3rd and 1. It's like, hey, just don't show replays to the fans so that they won't bitch about it and just keep it on your own, because if we see it and they don't, like, that's a massive problem. Even Pereira was sawing them down like, yeah, the whole world just saw that it was a first down, but instead you guys are still going to keep it a 3rd and 1. Like, it makes no sense.
Could they get in their ear right away, you think, and just tell them, hey, no, it's first down?
Well, I thought that was the whole thing that they were doing this year, but like Pat was saying earlier in the show, like, we didn't see that at all last night.
But doesn't that have to be like an official challenge, though, or something? Like, you have to officially challenge the spot if they marked it like 3rd and 1?
I'm not sure. I just assumed that it would be like, hey, no, you're fucking this up, make it a first down.
I agree. I think that's how it should be. I don't know if they feel like they can work like in real time that quickly. I don't know if they have enough people they can trust like that.
Well, I mean, if they don't have, I mean, this is the NFL. Like, get enough people.
I mean, you're right. But hey, every single business, like every single corporation, you talk to anybody, like, there's always people in high positions that you're like, how in the hell did this person get that job?
Well, and the committee obviously changes everything. Like, I read something today. The committee wants, like, offensive holding to be more of an emphasis this year. So, like, you might see more offensive holding calls this week.
Why, though? That's going to take points off the board. They don't want that.
I don't know. This goddamn committee. And last night we saw for the first time, like, they're calling the helmet-to-helmet on offensive linemen on cornerbacks, like on the screen to Logan Thomas, because corners can't go low anymore. They're calling that helmet-to-helmet call on offensive linemen just because they're trying to protect the DBs, because that was one of the conversations in the offseason was they're going to get absolutely slaughtered if they can't go low on these dudes.
I mean, they're still going to get slaughtered even if they, like, okay, the dude goes helmet to helmet, he knocks you out cold, but there's a flag thrown, cool. Like, you're out the next 6 to 8 weeks. Like, how are you supposed to, as a DB, what are they supposed to do there when that is your job? Like, submarine, take their legs out, make a pile. Like, what's a 190-pound DB supposed to do?
They're screwed.
Get absolutely ground into dust now.
Like, they're absolutely screwed. There's nothing you can do. Try and go around them and just let the guy go for 60. Like, there's nothing
you can't. You got to set the edge, or you got to make it bounce. Like, you got to do one or the other. So I guess you could try to, take an edge of the lineman and like try to dip underneath him and take a little bit and not just get annihilated completely. But that's not a fun gig to have.
Yeah, who knows? Well, again, hopefully they get this shit sorted out.
Yeah.
But part of me thinks, there's a reason we do this every single year, and we continue to bitch about the refs week by week. So I don't have much faith that they will get it figured out. Nick, who else is on the 5-Hour Energy phone line?
Let's go to Alex in Philly.
Alex, what's up?
Yo, my fellow Pennsylvanian brethren, and AJ, the absolute specimen. You hurt? Ty, great Sirianni impression. Keep it up. So, as a true Birds fan, obviously I hope Carson Wentz plays just good enough to keep his job every week, but the Colts keep losing all the way until 75% of the snaps. Then that pussy gets a career-ending injury, so fuck him. By the way, I'm sitting in an extra short chair out of respect for a man, Siciliano. Fuck Carson Wentz, fuck EA Sports, fuck the Cowboys.
Where's your question, pal?
What did EA Sports do?
Well, Madden stinks each and every year.
Madden's terrible once again.
What's wrong with it? Like glitches or what?
No, it's the same exact thing. And the whole point of the game this year was like, hey, this isn't the same game. We're changing up a bunch of stuff. It stinks. There are glitches. The online stinks. The regular mode stinks. There is no redeeming qualities about it aside from the fact that Mac Jones is in the game. But still, there is nothing good about the game this year.
Updated rosters is only the good thing.
Well, and they consistently act like, hey, we listen to our fans. We took everything into account, what they said. And it's, just the same steaming pile of horse shit as it was the year before with, maybe a couple uniform changes and, rookie class and guys getting moved. But, again, greedy corporate fat cats, people will buy it. They don't give a rat's ass.
Yeah, they spend $10 billion on commercials. So it's like, hey, let's take some of that and let's move it into the game.
I mean, they're putting you in the ultimate team, AJ. Yeah. Are you seeing a cent from that?
I have no idea. I just saw people send me a snapshot. I just assumed they created me in like the wherever you create a player.
Yeah, but you texted me. You said you were so pissed your tackling was only rated at an 89.
Okay, produce that text message for us then, Connor.
All right, I'll pull it up right now after the show.
All
right, Nick, I think we probably got time for one more phone call. Who's next?
It's in the other room.
Let's go Theo in Syracuse.
Theo, what's going on?
Hey, happy Feel Good Friday, boys.
Hell yeah, Theo.
3 minutes.
Hey, today I woke up. I called in sick. What?
What?
Personal day.
What?
vitamins,
What?
beer,
What?
self-cheer,
What?
more beer,
What?
pour beer,
What?
in my mouth. Let's go, boys.
American dream right there.
Yeah, wow. Someone in Syracuse.
Hey, don't drive today, pal.
What if he was in the car? What if you could hear like cars honking at him? He's driving down the road.
Wow, I don't doubt
Then
it.
we'd have to call Syracuse PD and let them know that they have an absolute madman on the
You're
loose.
right. We would call. We'd ask him to read his plates to us, and then we'd call it in.
Well, that kid can't read right now. He is absolutely tuned up. If you listen to his call,
Where do you think he works? He said he took a personal day. Where does he work?
Nah, I don't know. He had a lot of mint in him, so I assume like Applebee's.
Yeah.
like,
Goldman Sachs or something.
Goldman Sachs,
is
maybe.
good. Yeah,
that's
possible.
a good point.
AJ, quick before Mad Dog Russo takes over for us here. What's like the one or two games that you're most excited to watch this weekend?
Oh man, I want to see if the Titans have a bounce back game.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard for Braves and them to lose another one. And then also, hey, at the same time, yeah, I'm a homer, but Packers Monday night, Packers Lions. What do the Packers do? Let's see if they jump out to an early lead and kind of get everybody feeling comfortable, or is it like a battle for the first half, maybe the first three quarters?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that game's kind of a lose-lose situation because if they do blow out the Lions, it's like, oh, the Lions stink. And if it's closer than we thought, then people who want to shit on Rodgers and talk about the offseason and all that kind of stuff, like that's still going to happen.
Yeah, there are a lot of good ones too. Chargers Cowboys is going to be a good one. We'll see what happens there.
What about your
Bengals,
Patriots?
Bears. Well, that's going to be a bummer because the Pats are going to win 45-0, so no one's really going to watch that after we start kicking their ass.
Oh man, Connor, did your drone get taken down in Texas?
I honestly, AJ, I wish I had any clue what the fuck you're talking about. But
It's kind of a deep cut, but yeah, Zito may have known.
30.
Are you barbecuing with Kevin Sorbo this weekend for the Ohio State game?
I'm not. I do not have a relationship with Sorbo. I saw him from a distance. Big, impressive-looking human physically.
All right, sounds good. Mad Dog Russo's next. Watch SmackDown tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We got Overreaction Monday, Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Should be a good weekend of football. Also, check out the Foxy Flick on YouTube /The Pat McAfee Show at 3:15. We appreciate you guys. Have a good weekend.